All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this great, beautiful night after Sunday, which is, we call this night Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation tonight. We're here to open up, conversate, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to, what's on your mind. Some things may be too private when we get into our private quarters. That's as far as we can go, but we can probably skim across the edge. But other than that, hopefully everybody's doing and having a great night. My brother Barack out of Atlanta is on with me tonight over here on Zoom. Other than that, me myself, I'm here in Detroit, and we're gonna start off with a prayer before we get started off with tonight with open conversation, whatever the creator brings forth or whatever it is that's on the mindset, we'll take it from there. Other than that, bliss be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Bliss be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bliss be the Father of Israel. Bliss be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help leading and guiding others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep help us in every way. Let us retain the knowledge and your information that we get and we gain to run and do and give to the people so they may have it, retain it, and do it for themselves. We ask you to forgive us of any sins that we have done, our ancestors and our forefathers in your sight, that you're displeased with, and that you correct us in measure and help us in every way, and just forgive us of all things we have done time past, today's time, and time to come. Lift the darkness of sleep, the sleep of darkness off from us, and let us grow in your glorious light. We thank you, Father, for all you've done, been on the planet. Do we ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we're here tonight, and this is Fight Fire with Truth, which is we're sharing information, coming out with information across the board. Barack, if there's anything you want to talk on or just mention on, we can try to walk on or talk about and about anything, no matter what. Don't have to be about scriptures, it could be about anything, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, at this moment in time, I was just on just listening to Dr. Pruitt before you got on. Had a gentleman, he was talking about the scriptures, what you were saying, and how they were just talking about Jama, I guess the numbers, how the Olympic rings was El Bay. It was a pretty good call. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know,
About
about.
what? What was this? What was that?
It's Dr. Pruitt, Pruitt about the land is being restored to the indigenous people.
That's right.
Right. So it was a lot of symbols and a lot of things that's happening that's notating that's it's already here. That's what's happening.
Okay. What are some of the things that she kind of spoke on that you know of or that you recognize that's factual that she spoke on?
I think one of them is just, they were talking about Area 51 and some of the numbers that like the number 14. It's a lot of events that, a lot of rituals that happen throughout the years. So I just kind of overall listening to it before I, got onto your Zoom call here. But it was
Mm.
it was interesting. It's still on now. Dr. Kia, Dr. Kia Pruitt and talks about,
Yeah, Dr.
you
Kia
know,
Pruitt, she have a lot of people on sharing information about things that's going on today,
right.
and that's the object. See, a lot of people don't realize it's many of us. I'm saying many of us are out here sharing information, putting out knowledge and information about what's going on today. That's the reason why that's why it says in Revelation 7, which I shared, I believe, yesterday. You wasn't on, but at the end of me sharing the defiling of Tamara, which is Absalom's sister, and this part two was kind of short. about almost 30 minutes. And then G1 asked me a question. He asked me about the 144,000, right?
Hmm.
He asked about the 144,000. And he said, man, they said the 144,000 is this and the 144,000 is that. And then I actually went in the script and told him what the 144,000 is. He said, yeah, man, but it's supposed to be, well, before I got to the script, he said, man, it's supposed to be, it's thousands of people that call themselves Hebrew Israelites and Christians, and it's supposed to be part of the 144,000. I said, I let them talk. I let person get their air out before I try to go in and intervene with what they're talking about. So I went to the scriptures and showed him where it was stated in Revelation 7, first three verses. It was four angels holding the winds of the four corners of the earth. And then another angel in the east came down and said that don't hurt the earth nor the sea or the trees or anything in the earth. Said don't hurt. So that we know that these was four winds of destruction. Don't hurt the earth until we have anointed or sealed, should I say? I'm saying anointed, but until we have sealed the 144,000. Might well say I'm paraphrasing. The servants of our Father, the servants of the Creator, in their foreheads. Sealed means that He's anointing them, right? So He said until He has sealed the 144,000 in their forehead. So when G1 was saying that, I was letting him understand that everybody can say whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can say what they want. They can mouth off. They are a lot of people just run off that mouth like running water. You cut the water on and just run. People just run and don't know what they're talking about. So I took them back and I was just letting him know what people say. I took him to the scripture to show him that the 144,000 will be the anointed of the Creator. It's not going to be just 104 people. There's a lot of people out here calling themselves Israel, and they're living in idolatry. They're worshiping different deities and stuff like that. They're worshiping Yahshua. They're worshiping Jesus. They're worshiping Muhammad. They're worshiping all kinds of things. I even went so far to show myself people, they worship these basketball players, football players, all these people knowing their stats. They worship these people for the games. All this stuff people worship. I'm going to get to Kid Pruitt in a few moments, but I'm sharing this to get to that. So what I was saying, what I was sharing with G1 is that a lot of people say a lot, but they don't realize that they're gonna be calling, well, we want to see what the Lord gonna do, cause them people, and they don't realize they're gonna be right there with all the other people that get demolished, that get destroyed. Why? It's because they're in idolatry and they're not recognizing that they are. They think they're saved because of what was given to them by the precepts of men. It's what I share all the time. But they don't research behind what they think they're in. They going by what they've been taught. How many of them go in and research for themselves? How many go and find out what the book actually say? How many go into history to find out what stuff is going on and what's happening? So that's the reason why I understand Dr. Kia Pruitt. She has been kicked off. She's been kicked off YouTube several times. Um, no, she's been on Rumble for quite some time. Something she had that me and my wife picked up years ago that she had shared. So we follow Dr. Kia Pruitt as well. But I haven't been on that much lately. But yet and still we follow her as well. So um she does a lot. But the reason why I went the way that I just went is because I was just sharing how I'm mainly trying to say that she maybe, I don't know if she is or not, but she may be one of the ones that's awakening the people. I don't know if she's part of the 144,000. I don't know if the 144,000 is all men. I don't know that. But I do know this. The 144,000 are the anointed of the Creator doing his will. And those that are anointed of the Creator doing his will is 12,000 out of each tribe that's doing the will of the Creator. And if they're doing the will of the Creator, then in verse 9 in Revelations 12 and 9, 7 and 9, because we into it, 7 and 9, it talks about a number that no man can number. So this is going to be all tongues, nations, and people, and maybe even Israel who are not anointed. Well, G1 is here. Came in. There we go. Yeah, so as I was saying is G1, guess you made it in. Good to see you, G1. Glad you can make it. I was just sharing with Barack about our conversation yesterday. You was asking about the 144,000, and I was just telling him, he was talking about Kia Pruitt and some of the things that they're talking about that's going on in this day and time. And by these things happening in these day and time, is many of us out here sharing the truth and the information about what's going on. And I went on to share with him about what you asked me about the 144,000 yesterday, and then how a lot of people are saying a lot, but they don't understand the scriptures as the scriptures is written. So I was saying that 144,000 is going to be those who are sealed in the forehead, like myself. I was anointed. Those who are anointed of the Creator, spiritually, that is, doing the Creator's will. It's going to be 144,000 according to the scripture. So the Creator said he's going to anoint and do what he will, and those people that is of his is going to be doing his will. I know I'm one of them because of what I've done and what I've come to understand. So I was also sharing with Barack a few minutes ago that a lot of people, they go through an epiphany or they get anointed. I was just about to come to this point. A lot of them, they get anointed, then they fall back. Instead of studying and researching for themselves, they still listening to a preacher or listening to something, or either going by the doctrine that was given to them since they've been here. When you go in the scripture after you've been anointed, and we all learn from each other as well. And I can't say we don't learn from each other by understanding and getting information. But also, when you go in the scripture, the Creator going to open it up to you. Creator gonna open this book up to let you see that this is the reason why this is the most sold by the sold book in the world. That's the reason why. Even though people have bought it under the guidance of Christianity, the real truth is in there. They made Christianity a part of it because that's a part of the curse. That's what I try to get people to understand. The Creator said that if you don't keep my law, I'm seeing the land that ye know not. There you're going to serve other gods. Wood and stone, gods your fathers haven't known. Jesus, Jesus is the God of today in this generation. What generation? The generation of the Greeks and mainly the Roman Empire. The Greeks had Apollo, Zeus, and Aphrodite, and all them other deities, but Rome gave it the image in Revelation 13, which is Jesus. Jesus is the image to Christianity, which is the image to the Roman Empire, the Pope, and the cross is their symbol. So a lot of people don't realize that, but the Father gave me all that studying, researching, and understanding. So it's a lot that's going on, but many of us are out here doing the work, doing the will. Many of us are out here waking the people up. And if you notice in Revelations 12 and also in Daniel 12, it talks about Michael standing up, and it talks about the soldiers that's going to be out there telling the real truth. And they're going to be waking people up forever and ever. That means that what we're going to carry, that's the reason why I'm sharing with you, Brock, that the information that we carrying, you're going to see how strong it's going to be. What?
Okay. Yeah, I got you. I'm here. Just got back in for a second there.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's how strong the information is going to be once we start hitting and sharing it. Once everybody get it down, correct, and move. I already know. I'm fully aware of what's about to happen and what's going on. So but Kia Pruitt, yeah, she's been on some information for quite some time. But remember, we all are still growing in information. Nobody has it all. We all have a part and a piece of the puzzle. That's why we all are growing in truth, and as we know it, we're growing in it. So that's mostly it, bro. Really, on that point, we all are growing. So Kia Pruitt is one. You have a lot of people putting out knowledge and information, but the key is, matter of fact, I think I shared it yesterday. Let me give it to you real quick. Matthew chapter 5, verse 15, verse 17 through 20. I'm reading that real quick, just so you can see it. I know you wasn't on here yesterday, but I'm going to get that for you so you can check it out. And I shared this yesterday. Here you go, right here. Check this out, bro. This is what's going on right now. It says Christ on the law, and Christ only means the anointing spirit. That's all Christ means. A lot of people think it's Jesus Christ. Christ only means the anointed, or anointing, the one who is anointed. That's what Christ means. Everybody think it means Jesus Christ. No. Jesus who is called Christ, meaning Jesus, which he wasn't, that who is called the anointed. That's a title. Christ is a title. That title is mean anointed, or anointing. So in Matthew 5:17, it says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets." Now, you notice all this red. Majority when it's in red, it's the spirit speaking through the prophet. It's not the prophet speaking, but it's the spirit that's coming through the prophet sharing the information. But what it says is, "Think that I am not come to destroy the law or the prophets." The law or the prophet, which is the Old Testament, is the law and the prophets. I am not I not come to destroy, but to fulfill means to carry it out. If you're carrying something out, you're continuing what you're supposed to do, not finish anything. You just fulfill means to carry out the job or the mission that you're supposed to do. Whatever mission he came to do was really, he came to do no different than the other prophet, which is in chapter 4, verse 17. And I'll read that real quick. Matthew 4:17 says, "For that time," I say the prophet, I don't like saying Jesus or Yahshua. So, "For that time, the prophet of the New Testament began to preach and to say, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." That was his purpose. That was the purpose of the prophet of the New Testament. Tell everybody to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That was everything else. If it was either added or it was either added or it was a part of his mission. Meaning that what he did, he shared information, telling people what's going on, but the Council of Nicaea added the information. That's why when you get to verse 20, I'm going to break that down for you. But as it says is, but to fulfill, verse 18, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass," and that won't pass until a person pass themselves, meaning until they die. "Until till earth and heaven pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." That means everything that the Creator said, it ain't gonna pass. And people don't even pay no attention to whatever just said. Nothing in the law is gonna pass. Even the prophets, because the prophets spoke from the Creator. So whatever the prophets said is law. Is law according to the curse, or is law according to the blessing? In no wise shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. And this stuff still being fulfilled today. Till all be fulfilled or carried out, as I might as well say. Verse 19. And this is the key that people don't catch. "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments," whoever it is should break one of these commandments, "and shall teach men so." Not only if you breaking them, you down here teaching people that we ain't under law no more. You can eat pork, you can eat catfish, you can do all, you can go into another man's wife, and lying and cheating and doing all this other stuff. That's against the law. That's against blatantly against what the Creator said. "And shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven." That means least on this earth, because this earth is the kingdom of heaven. It's actually turning to the kingdom of heaven now with some of the information that you're talking about, that we're looking for to happen, for the great reset and everything else to happen. It's turning. We got two pillars happening right now. You got one going up toward the kingdom of heaven. You got satanic kingdom coming down. "He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But Whosoever shall do and teach. Now, see what it says? But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Those are the 144,000 that's doing and teaching and telling the people what's going on in the earth. They're going to be great in the kingdom of heaven, which is great in this earth. And I'm going to show you how these are the 144,000 in a few seconds when I get done with this. Verse 20. This is your key on those who are studying and learning from others compared to those who understand the scribes and who the scribes and the Pharisees are. This is the difference right here. Verse 20, Matthew 5 and 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Now we got to find out who the scribes and who the Pharisees are. Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. If you can't get beyond the scribes and the Pharisees, you ain't gonna be able to make it into heaven. But now we gotta say, well, who gonna know? Who gonna? Number one, there was never no. The Father never gave us Pharisee. That's number one. Oh, what you saying? He never gave. He never gave a Pharisee. He gave Levites. He gave prophets. He never gave a Pharisee. How you know? Go and read the book. You won't find the word Pharisee in the book. And guess who the Pharisees of today is? Your preachers, your pastors, and your teachers of today that's teaching against the law. Those are the Pharisees of the day. What did the Pharisees say in this book? Caesar is our king. Did they not say that? They said it in the book. Further down on into the book. I don't know if they said we worship Caesar, but they definitely said that Caesar was the creator is our king. The creator is the king of the earth. I can show you that too. But the whole point, the creator is our king. The only one and the only king. And we shouldn't worship no other thing other than the creator himself. So, but let me finish this up. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes, I'm going to get to that in a few seconds, and Pharisees, I get to Pharisees because Pharisees is easy to hit. Everybody know how these preachers is out here today. Scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, I just shared with you who the Pharisees are today. The preachers, the teachers, the preachers, the teachers who are in the place of the Pharisees of today. These and pastors, how you want to call them, teaching against the law, telling you, we live under grace, we under the law, we under grace. Those are the Pharisees. Now, who the scribes are? The scribes are the ones who gave you this New Testament. What you mean scribes? Scribes are the ones who write out the information that you're reading. That's why they call them scribes. The scribes are the ones who gave the New Testament. See, in the quote unquote what they call the Old Testament, which is actually the law and the prophets, which you just read over here in verse 17, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's the Old Testament, what everybody call. That's the law, first 5 books, and the prophets. Everything else is stories or things like that in there. But the law and the prophets, which I go by prophecy, is what the Old Testament is consistent of. It consists of. And every time you see in the law and the prophets, you always see them prophets say, "Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith God." I like saying, "Thus saith Yah." In the New Testament, you don't see that. I'm about to show you that in a few seconds. This is how you know the difference. And it go right into 21, it's going to show you the difference. In 21, it says, as I shared yesterday, 21, it says, ye have heard that it was said by them of old time. That's blatantly disrespecting the Creator's word. By them that said of old time. He ain't say, thus said the Lord, because the Creator's the one who said the stuff in the old time that he's talking about. But he said, by them of old time. And then that's 21. But in 22, it starts out like this. But I say unto you, now if anybody got common sense, who gonna speak over the creator? But people have convinced, but he the son of God. You ain't gonna speak over your daddy. If your daddy say something, you gonna do what your daddy said. So how you gonna say, well, he said that? You have heard the old time where he said that. He ain't even respecting the father. But I say, who you gonna come and change the father's word? That right there is blatantly disrespect. And that shows right there who the scribes are. Because remember, before this book was written, they had to act out everything, right? If it was Jesus, even though we know his name was Yeshua. But everything had to be acted out before the book was made. It ain't no book written for me that can happen 2 years from now that we can read right now. This is what I mean by people don't understand. You won't find no book that's written ahead of time unless it's prophesied, like what you get in the book. Barack said this and this and this in 2030. Barack ain't even made it to 2030 yet. But 2030 have to come because you had to act this up out until you get to 2030. So after you act it out, then in 2030 you can write it out. Okay, this is happening. I can talk about my past. I can write out about my past. I can write what happened between 1995 to 2025 because it didn't happen. But I can't tell you nothing between 2026 to 2030 right now because it ain't happened yet. I can't. But people look at this book like, oh, that's what happened. Yeah, see, that's what it said in the book. Who gave it to you? Who wrote it out to you? Them is the scribes that wrote out this stuff before you got here. Before the third, well, in the time of the third and fourth generation, which is the Greeks and the Roman Empire, when they wrote it out. Long before that, this was done in 325 AD to 381 AD. 56 years they fighting and stuff and going through the situation. We way up here in 2000s now. And they read this book like, man, this is fact, man. That's what it say. That's what it say. Man, and these people don't have no inkling to go to research and find out this was written in order to fool the people that was coming along. And how did they make them accept it? The Crusaders. See, this is history. See, everything is in the book. This what's in here is either for you to accept or not to accept according to what's put here. But you have to go into history to find out the information as well. If you don't go into history, you only going by what's given to you for face value. You have to go into history to find out the truth or the facts of what's going on and see what's going on here. So the Council of Nicaea came together and put this Christianity together in this New Testament. They gave you the New Testament by the word of the Father. How is it by the word of the Father? It's the curse. See, a lot of people don't get it. Thank the Father for giving it to me to see it clear as day. If you keep my law, all these blessings going to happen to you. If you forsake my law, all these curses going to happen to you. But it's up to you to change and turn when the time comes and when you find out you're in the wrong. But how many people sticking with the lie? And that's the problem of the day. But you know something? They can't say they wasn't told. They can't say they wasn't warned. They can't say they haven't been given information to go and check it for themselves. Why? I'm doing it. You just said, I know Dr. Sister Akia Pruitt, she had people on there sharing with them about stuff that's going on today that's linked to the scripture that a lot of people don't know about. That's why you got to know the scripture and understand what's going on in today's time. I'm thankful the Father gave me the information to understand, to see, to know, and to grow in it, and to share the information like I said I would do. But it's up to people that want it. Well, let me give you another one real quick. Over here in 27. Over here in 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, blatant disrespect. Thou shalt not commit adultery. But wait, verse 28. But I say unto you that the Father said don't commit adultery. Who is them of old time? The Creator spoke to through Moses. No, he spoke to the children of Israel. He spoke to all of them. I read that every Sabbath. Exodus 20, 1 through 17 is the commandments. And it said the Creator spoke all these words, saying unto them, first commandment, thou shalt have no other God before me. The last thing he said, thou shalt not covet, which is want thy neighbor's house, thy neighbor's wife, manservant, maidservant, or anything that is thy neighbor's. From the first to the 10th commandment, he spoke it. The Creator spoke it. And this is a part of what the Creator said. The first one is a part of what the Creator said. But I say unto you, who is you to come and change what the Creator said? That's how you know the word's manipulated. And you know why it's manipulated? Because that's why they can take Yeshua, change the name, and give you their story. That's why I'm trying to tell people. This isn't the story of the man that y'all think it is. This is the story of the man the story was modified of the man that supposed to have did this story. Modified. What does modified mean? They changed the word. They changed the narrative. They make you think one thing compared to what it is. Who gave you God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit? Council of Nicaea did that. But if you just read this, that's what you're going to believe. Because that's the story that they made.
Yo, that mommy, yo, check this out too, yo. I want to let you hear this part of what I was talking about yesterday. Listen to it.
Play it loud and clear.
Yeah, it's about like 2-3 minutes. It's real quick.
Play it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
What is meant? What's happening as far from a meditational standpoint? What is this revealing to me? So if you look at Revelation chapter 3 and verse 9, it says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan." Okay. Synagogue of Satan. And right away, you have to stop there and say, my God, what is being referred to the synagogue of Satan? The synagogue of Satan is your lower mind.
Who?
Synagogue of Satan is your lower mind. It's the temple of the flesh, if you would. It's the carnal mind. It's the left side of the brain. I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. Okay. And this lower mind, the synagogue of Satan, is that part of our consciousness and that part of our personality that does battle with the temple, the divine temple, the higher mind, the right hemisphere, if you would. Now, there's something interesting here. Let's take a look at it. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Isn't that interesting? People who say, I'm a Jew, I'm Jewish. And what's being said here is, no, you're not. You're lying. You may not know that you're lying because nationality or birth does not make one Jewish. Nationality or birth does not make one a Jew. Living in Israel does not make one a Jew. See? And this is what's being said to you in the Bible. See? And what it says is, they say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Go with me to page 920 in those little Bibles, and let's take a look at something. And this is what's being said in the book of Revelation, and this is what's being said by the Apostle Paul, and maybe we get an idea of really what being a Jew is all about and why the Jews are God's chosen people. And maybe that's what we have to dwell on for the first few moments here. Okay. Romans 2, chapter 2, verse 28. Look what it says. For he is not a Jew which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh, but he is the Jew which is one inwardly. See? And so here's another basic foundation or tenet of Christianity which falls. God's chosen people. And they'll all flock to do pilgrimages in what they call the Holy Land, which is anything but, But here the Bible that they carry to these places is specifically saying that no, being a Jew has nothing to do with nationality. Being a Jew has nothing to do with where you were born. Being a Jew is something that occurs inwardly. And so let's take a look at the origin of that word, because it's very important. Who is a Jew? Okay. It's aligned, the word Jew is aligned with that which is the rising sun. And it comes out of the a root of the word which is Jude, Judah. And it means that which sits at the point of the rising sun, that which sits at the point of the divine light. That's why Paul says, one is a Jew who is one inwardly, who understands that you must take a position within yourself. And if you take a position within yourself, you can dwell in the Holy Land and be one of God's chosen people.
Yeah, that's it though, bro. Yeah, how I was saying inwardly, it's not like how you say all these people take all of these stances because of, like you said, the nationality, because of the way they practice a certain religion or keep to certain, they live in a certain location. But like how you said, is really inwardly. That's what's the jewel is about it all. Is like is how you live on the inside. Like it's what that's gonna really show. Like in accordance to what you were saying too about the chosen, the 144.
Okay, now before you go on, you got some more to play, right?
Well, it's a lot more, but nah,
But hold on,
that was the main.
I want to address what you just played.
That his name is too. I just wanted for the record give him his credit. That's William Donahue. Yeah.
Okay, cool. William Donahue. Let me give you some information to what William Donahue is speaking on, and he's totally incorrect. But not on the inwardly. I give him that. On the inwardly, it's not a Jew. Is keeping the law. Because how can you be a Jew inwardly and not know what to do? You have to know what to do. How can I go and get on a let's just say I want to get on a team to do something that this team want to do, and I don't know what to do. I just get on and say, well, I'm part of the team. I'm on the team. Let's just say Michigan. I'm on the Michigan basketball team. You just come out here, just come out of nowhere. I'm on the team.
Well, that's what he was saying about the synagogue of Satan. These are the people that just saying, I'm Jew because I live here, or I'm Jew because
right. But I'm gonna give you understanding to that. I wanted to hit the Jew first because I'm gonna give you understanding what he said on that, because what he said he is totally incorrect on. And what I mean is, do you got your Bible?
Nah, not next to me, no.
Well, I'm gonna read it real quick. I'm gonna give you two scriptures. I'm gonna give you Revelations. He read 3 and 9. I'm gonna give you Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9. I'm gonna give you 3 and 9 first for what he wrote, what he read, what he said here. Then I'm gonna give you 2 and 9. I'm gonna show you what the book say. Again, he said Revelations 3 and 9. I want 3 and 9, not 2 and 9 first. What he read was 3 and 9. Good, right here. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogues of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Yeah, he read this.
Yeah.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. Who feet? Who feet? And to know that I have loved thee. Who is he talking about? Now, this is what the book say. I don't know if he read all that.
Yeah, he did. He read it.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you and show you who he's talking about. Behold, I'm gonna read 3 and 9 again. I'm gonna hit 2 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Now we gotta find out who he's talking about. I will go there.
I see that as him saying, that's saying to me, the way I read that, from my understanding of when I hear that, is that he's talking about like all of these people, like the ones that's Khazarian, these Khazarian type people, they are Jewish. He's saying that I'm gonna make these people, these fake so-called Jews, have to worship at your feet.
Whose feet they gotta worship to?
The real ones.
There you go. You're on point.
Yeah. So like, right. So what he was saying is, I feel like there's nothing wrong with what he said, but like, yeah, I'm trying to hear what you say is wrong about it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, When he said that, did he say it's the inward? I'm about to give you the whole
Well,
understanding.
right, that is because we aren't the ones that's going around claiming this. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. We keeping it inside more than like we just living it out inwardly. Like it's just in what do they call it? Instinct. It's just naturally in us. Like you know what I mean? It's just in you. You don't gotta. It's not on you. It's in you. You get what I'm saying? Like
I know what you're saying,
yeah,
but
yeah.
see, it's a people, it's
That's
a
how I
certain.
inwardly. That's how I took it. Like
I understand. I understand how you see it, but let me ask you a question. If you go, how many Caucasians do you know out there since you've been in New York, since you left Detroit?
what you mean?
How many Caucasians, how many other nations and nationalities do you know?
I mean, that's everything. Everything out here is a melting pot. Yeah.
Right. If you go to an Indian, will he tell you where he's from? He can tell you he's from India. Am I correct?
I mean, most people, yeah, they know their origins. Where they,
Right. Now, this is what I'm getting at. I'm giving you facts. Even the Caucasians that was born here, that came here, born here, well, majority of them, I ain't gonna say all, but majority of them know their heritage is either from Germany, Ireland, Switzerland, wherever. They can give you their background. Most of them, am I right or wrong?
a lot of them, like you said, they know they tree. Yeah.
Exactly. Now let me ask you, how many of us know our tree?
Well, it just depends. A lot of us do know our tree deeply, but there's a lot of us that don't. Because
But would you
you
say
know why
most
a lot
of
of
them?
us
Would you
don't?
say the
Because
majority of them do know their tree or don't? Or for the people that come from slave stock, you would say.
I would say a lot of the like recent generations don't know because of like the situation with the father being taken out the house, like households being broken apart and families not really connecting like they used to at a certain time previously. You know what I mean? But like up to a certain point, like how you hear people say that grandma helped kept the family together or this certain
Right.
person keep the family together, and once that person is gone, family started like falling apart, and as
But
that
even though in that, what I'm saying, my bro, is even those with the grandmas and those that speaking English that came from slave stock, those that were slaves here, and they came through the slave trade, whether they was here on the land or whether they were brought here, that's melanated. Whether they call themselves Indian, because they can say, "Oh, I'm from the land." They can say it, but do they know what tribe they're from? And this is what I'm getting at. See, we lost our identity. We lost our identity. Majority of the other people, they know who they are. From Caucasians, Indians, Ethiopians, they know who they are. They know who their land is. Most of us don't. But let me give you 2 and 9 real quick. Revelation 2 and 9 says, I know the works and the tribulation and poverty. Who's all been going through poverty? How many other nations have come over here and actually went through poverty? Biden and them just let thousands of people come over here and get the wealth off our backs. Biden and them did that. Biden and Kamala and all them was letting them people come through the border just in this last, 5 to 6 years. They get paid off us. I remember seeing information on Instagram. This woman, a store clerk, happened to see this woman's receipt from food stamps. She had $13,000 she getting per month on her food stamps. 13,000. That's our money. That's coming from our cubes, and that's what these Democrats and all these other people been getting paid off of. What Elon Musk went in and he did the audit and found out what the money they was doing, how they was getting it from the people, because the people don't even know they rich. Our people, we don't even know that we are billionaires. We don't even know it. It's in our CUSIPs. It's coming out now. A lot of people still don't want to believe it. See, and it's the whole point. But right here, verse 2 and 9 says, I know thy works and the tribulation and the poverty, but thou art rich. That's what it's saying right here. We are rich, but we don't know it. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. These are the ones that walk around fake, act like they. And he said,
right,
they're not. There's no such thing as a Jew.
right.
There's no
They
such. They got the word Jew from the tribe of Judah. Judah is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is who it's talking about. It's talking about Israel. Israel is a nation that's built off 12 children made from Jacob, who the Creator gave him name Israel spiritually, and those 12 children are the children of Israel who the promise of this earth was given to. And this problem and what they
Ain't
have done, what they did, I'm gonna give you the breakdown right quick.
ain't all of the religions are under the Abrahamic connection though. Like when you break it down, like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all of them come under Abram. All of
But
them
but
are
but they all are blasphemy
yeah, they all
because they don't keep the law. All of them either add, the Creator said, don't add to my law or take away. So no matter what, any religion that anybody is doing is blasphemy because they've taken away from the law or they added to it. And the Creator said, don't add to or take away from the law.
well, yeah, that's like you said, that's empty, and that's following another man. That's why religion is for people who don't want to take the responsibility to go within. When you looking for to someone else to lead you, when you need a leader, or you just don't want to take the energy to think critically, and you want to be spoon fed, it's easier to just rely on religion, to just like religion in that word, to rely on. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's what it means.
Rely on. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is put to sleep. It was created by like, the beast system who wanna like who found it easier to control people and use it to like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly. So what ended up happening is what they did, they end up finding out who the chosen people was, and you'll find that in Genesis chapter 49, starting at verse 8. It states, in this right here in 49 and 8, in Genesis 49, verse 8, 8 to 12, but actually the 10th verse is the key. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. And matter of fact, the whole chapter 49 of Genesis give you the blessing from Jacob to each child, each one of them. But Judah, excuse me, it's from verse 8 to 12, but your key is verse 10. But it states, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art going up. He stoopeth down, he crouches as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? 10 is your key right here. The scepter. If anybody know what a scepter is, it's what a king holds. And the king knights he dubs his knights with the scepter. That's what a king does. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, which is the Holy Spirit, which is in these day and time now. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. This is us. We are gathering the people. Now that dude said it's within, yes, but he ain't say what it was. What makes it within is the law of the Creator. So you have to know what it is.
oh nah, he go in way deep. This man is a rabbi, but yeah, he definitely going, but he's like one of those ones that's keeping it super real. Like he dealing with like not just on some religious stuff. He breaking it down like to
But he could
reality.
be. Remember, I was just talking about the 144,000. He
Mm-hmm.
could be one of them. Then I don't know, but I'm telling you, when it comes to the point, he in that little conversation, to me, I think it should have been said when he said it's within. He should say it's of the law of the Creator, because anything can be within. He ain't even give
But
a
no, no,
fuck.
no, no, no. He did say divine light. Now that's, I mean, if you don't understand what that means, that's
Well,
clear.
a lot of people are a lot of people don't know what divine light means. Divine light could,
Well, no, this a
and
class.
I
This is a
agree.
class
Divine
of
light is
people
the
that,
spirit.
yeah,
It's
no,
the
no. People who follow his class, this a class, and it's understood. You know what that is. Now, somebody like you said, just a random person walk up may not understand that, but there's a lot of things they not gonna understand. So
and I agree.
I wouldn't take away from what he's saying just
I'm
because.
not. I'm all I'm saying is from what I heard right here. I'm only speaking on what I heard. Now, if I hear the whole thing, I can give you my point of view on it. Only going by what I heard. What I heard was when he said the being a Jew is within. And it's not Jew, no way. I will always stand. There is no such thing as a Jew. But the ones that they're talking about that said, and to me, I'm gonna tell you from what I heard, and from what I heard from what you played. From what I heard is he played 3 and 9 and said those who say are Jews or are not. I didn't hear the part when he said they're gonna come worship at your feet, because I wonder who is he talking about, because I didn't hear him say who they're gonna come and worship to. All I kept hearing him saying is, well, it's the Jew or the Gentile, from what I remember. He never made a distinction of who he was talking about. Now, me, I hear pretty
Nah, he
good.
never.
Now, I could be mistaken, but I hear pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't even mention Gentile at all. But
But
yeah,
okay then. But I definitely know he didn't mention Israel, and what he was saying was, or it's the Jew within. Israel is part of Judah, which it is the people that saying that they who they are is us. So I think he was taken away from that when really it is a people. We're the people who don't know who we are. Why? Because the Creator said he's going to send us in a land that we know not. There we're going to serve other gods, wood and stone, gods our fathers haven't known. Our fathers didn't know nothing about no Jesus, no Muhammad, no Emmanuel, no Yeshua. Didn't know nothing. I wouldn't say our fathers. The 12 tribes didn't know nothing about none of them. Only the 12 tribes only knew the Creator and the Creator only. That's who the 12 tribes knew. They know nothing about none of these other gods, gods of Egypt, even the Egypt of today. Jesus is the God of Egypt of today. Today is spiritual Egypt. And Jesus is that God today that everybody is worshiping. And now with quote unquote the Christians and the quote unquote Hebrew Israelites, they got rid of names. Most of them got rid of the name Jesus and placed the name Jesus with Yeshua. They still worship. They're breaking the first commandment. Don't have no other gods before me. The second one is don't have no other gods in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters under the earth. That means nothing. So the fact that they even doing that, I don't care who they calling on, they still in idolatry. So this right here is just blatantly, and he can have a following. All I can say is if he's not teaching them correctly, him and his followers gonna be damned. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's right or wrong because I haven't heard him. I don't know. All I'm saying is not only him, anybody who's not giving the Creator his proper due, which is what reason why he's upset now. If everybody ain't giving the Creator and worshiping and giving the Creator his word,
well,
now
that's the
go
thing.
in.
No one knows it all, so we're all learning as we go. You get what I'm saying? You learn
That's why we got to get in the book.
things
That's
are
why the
correct.
Creator said, "Study to show yourself approved."
Well, not only just the book, you have to study everything.
I
300
agree.
everything. You know what I mean?
Bro, don't I go into history? Did I go in the Council of Nicaea, and I show you where in 56 years, this is where
Yeah, because you even gotta understand the science behind where the Bible even who really actually even wrote it and how it came from and all of that.
it
Yeah.
all came from the Creator. It all came from the Creator. No matter how it come, where you look at it, it's what the Creator has given in order for the world to either accept it or reject it. That's where it all comes from. We can't deny that the breath of life that gives you every thought that you think. The fact that you even thinking anything to write it down, the Creator gave that to you. Whatever you thinking and writing it down, the words you speaking, it's your choice to bring them out, but the Creator has given you the ability to think on whatever you want to say.
Well, yeah, when you put it like that, the Creator lets everything go down. So I mean, if that's the point, then yeah, he lets even the wrong things happen, but like everything is happening.
That's right.
I mean, so all of it is under that, you know what I mean?
That's
So
right. And but the whole thing is you have a choice. See, and this is like I was sharing yesterday. When you come to Deuteronomy, when you come to Exodus chapter 18, he said the father shall not be mainly, I'm gonna paraphrase it. The sins of the father should not be on the sons, and the sins of the sons should not be on the father. Everybody gonna perish for their own sin. The only way
like
to
it's inwardly. That's why you have a choice to make inwardly because it's not about what everybody on the outside is doing or even what other nations or tribes or your family or
right,
your city or what the world is doing because at the end of the day is what you got to have your you know meeting and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So tell me what
How
makes
they
a
say
person
you're gonna have to meet your maker. You know what I'm saying?
right. So let me ask you, what
You
makes
gotta
the
answer.
in what makes the inwardly prosper though? What is the inwardly that's going to give you the information going to make you
Like I said, the divine light, and light is the truth. That is the truth. Like when you see something for what it really is, that's the truth. Darkness, like they say, what is in the darkness will always come to the light. So yeah, like the divine light is the most highest light you can ever come
but
across.
everybody don't have the divine light.
Well, you will eventually will get a spark of it. You will go. It ain't go like it says in the Bible. It says there will be no man who could claim ignorance of the law is not an excuse, right? So you're not gonna be able to claim, oh, I was ignorant to not know nothing. It ain't gonna be no baby or man that's gonna be able to say, oh, I didn't know that, I didn't know, because you did at some point in your life, something or somebody or some scenario, some sign, something in the universe came to bring you the light, and
There you go.
you chose, like you said, a freedom to inwardly on your own to not deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like what you say, you get to bring the truth and people can accept it or reject it. So it's like
Exactly.
people, you can't say
Exactly.
that everybody don't got the
So
light
I want to ask you this question,
because we
right?
all got.
Let's just say
What
I'm
is that
sharing
George Clinton
information,
song?
right? Let's just
Everybody's got a little light under the
under the sun,
sun.
that's right. A
Okay,
little
so
light
that's
under
it
the
right
sun.
there.
But that little
Everybody.
light gotta grow. So
But hey, yo,
my
nobody
question to
just
you is
came in
this.
with it fully
G1, my
doped
question to
up
you is
like the
this.
last dragon. Not
Yeah.
everybody come with the last dragon fully activated. You know what I'm saying? That and
But
even
let me
that was
ask
a
you this
level.
question, that was a movie. My question to
Even
you
though
is
that,
this.
but it's symbolic.
You've been coming
Everything
on
is
here with me
symbolic.
for about maybe I say 2 to 3 years. I say that much, right?
But remember, even movies, everything even as a story. The Bible
Of
means
course it is.
Bible means books,
Yeah.
stories. It's just stories. That's all they are. They're just
But
stories.
let me ask you, are there stories of truth, stories of false, allegory? What's in there? What
All of
is
that.
it?
It's a mixture because we know that we already say this a lot. Me and you done went back and forth on this a lot about the versions and how it's been tampered and mixed in.
That's right.
So there's bits of lies in it. Because
So
hold on. Because you
even
asked
though
the
I
question,
share
so I
with
want
you
to
that the
fully
creator
answer it.
said, even though
I
I
want to
share with you
fully
that the
answer
creator
it.
said that he said that I'm gonna send you in a land that, which I keep saying, and it's in the book.
You
I'm gonna
just talked
send
about
you in
how
a
like
land that you
Joshua, like how they changed it to Jesus to Joshua. So
yeah, but you ain't
that right
understand
there is one.
what I'm trying to share with you.
That's one right there. That's just
But
one.
you ain't understanding what I'm sharing with you.
And right
Even
now, Jesus
even
is
though
one
you
of the
said
most
that,
famous people on the planet. That's one of the most famous men that ever lived. Jesus, that's what he's more known than I ain't in the person more known than that. Hey, he is.
who gave them to you?
Exactly.
No, who gave them to you?
I mean, I don't know who gave him to me. I don't know who gave him to me, but we
See,
know
and
that
but this is what
we
I'm
know that
getting
he
at.
was given, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
But this is what I'm getting at. You got to fight, and I'm sharing with you who gave them to you. But I guess my information going on deaf ear. So, but I want to read to you what said here. It said right here in verse 10. And I'm gonna share this with you. I want you to give me your point of view. I'm gonna read 10, 11. I'm gonna read 10 through 13. I want you to give me your point of view. All right. I don't know if you have your Bible with you, but I'm gonna read it to you. I want you to hear. I want you to tell me what you hear out of this right here. Right here, and it says, "And it shall come to pass when you shall show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, Wherefore have the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then it said, Then shalt thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Lord. Saith who? This is what we God talking, whether you believe it's God or not. Forsaken me, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. Verse 12. And ye, which is you, have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye, which means you, walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, and they may that they may not hearken unto me. 13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither you, which is ye, nor your fathers, and there ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. What that sound like to you?
I mean, that could sound like a lot of things, but it sounds like it could remind me of situations where like you not living the way of life you should be, and so when you start living a different way of life, you now suffering for it because it's maybe you was stripped of, like how you hear Rod Luther King say they was robbed today, coach, robbed of your, stuff like that. Like maybe you could think about,
But tell me, what does it definitely mean to you? What it sound like? Say, I mean, tell me what you get out of it. Not maybe, just give me your
that's just
facts.
me. I haven't really processed it. I probably should process it more before I just break.
Okay, well then hold on, Barack, come on in, man. I hope you're there, bro. I hope you ain't fell asleep on me.
Yo, he probably be busy. He made have fell asleep though. It
Nah,
is.
he ain't fell because he was just here not too long ago. He was probably listening to Kid Pruitt. Barack, are you there?
Uh,
I hope he was listening. He probably gone. Probably gone. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to get his opinion on that. But I'm gonna share this with you, bro. This is a.
what it mean to you? What it mean to you?
I told you what it mean to me. I've been saying that's the reason why I'm here. What it says is, it said, and it shall come to pass, meaning it's gonna happen when you shall show this people all these words that I've been sharing, and they shall say unto you, unto me, unto thee, or whatever, wherefore have the Lord pronounced all this great evil? Who did it? The Creator did it. He pronounced all this great evil that was going to happen. All this great evil against us. Or what is our iniquity? What is our ignorance? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then 11. Now, this, if you want to know, if you want to go check it out at a later time, is Jeremiah 16, verse 10 through 15. Jeremiah 16, verse 10 through 15.
Mhm.
Jeremiah 16, verse 10 through 15. Or what is our iniquity, or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? 11. Then shalt thou say unto
Sound
them,
like asking the question like, why am I suffering? Like you
that's right.
knowing that I
Exactly.
didn't get it right, though. I don't have to follow.
Exactly. And then it says, then shalt thou say unto them. See, he's giving you a cause. There's always a cause, the reason why he does things. Because your fathers have forsaken me, meaning our ancestors have forsaken the Creator, saith the Lord, saith the Creator, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshiped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. That's the reason why we're in the position we're in today. So when you talk about a light or a way that we're supposed to study or supposed to keep or something we're supposed to do, that's it. We haven't kept this law.
Well, I
But
mean,
then he said,
it's not even that difficult. It's not that we need to even know that. So you know right from wrong without even reading none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what the right thing to do, the basic tenets of civilization without even ever even reading the Bible. You don't need before, you know what I'm saying? Before you even got into the Bible when you was 5 years old or 3, 6 or whatever like that, 7, you didn't need to know any of that to know what you when you do something right and when you doing something wrong. And so it's inherent, it's in you already now.
you just got to saying everybody gotta get a little light under the sun, right? Everybody have a little light, right?
Well, no, that was just the reference because you said some people. You said something like,
But I'm agreeing with you just said. Everybody got a little light. Everybody know, like you just said. But do they totally know how you're supposed to live? That's the difference. That's
it's
why I said when you talked about all the religions got
it's
information straight
simple.
from the Bible.
This
But
one thing is one thing only. If you take, like they said, this one jewel right here will take you very far in life. And as far as just being righteous, is do unto others as you will want to do unto you. And that means, and what that means deeper for me is live like you is God. Think like how you said, even with your thoughts. if you treat this world, because what you put out is what you get back. If you run around thinking all negative, everybody around you gonna be thinking all negative. The
That's
world's
right.
gonna reflect negative. Because like you said, imagination. You are the creation. You create everything.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if you start thinking how you want this world to be, and that's what you'll see. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you treat this world how you want it to be, it'll be that way. You know what I'm saying? But if you doing things and then wonder, oh, why is this happening to me? And not realizing, yo, you dealing in inequality. So yeah, you living in inequality. Yeah, you dealing with inequality. So that's what you get back. You get back inequality. You not following righteousness and doing the right thing. And so yeah, this is how you end up. You know what I mean? And I could look at that as, like, yeah, even today you see a lot of people saying, damn, where's black people at today? Look at all of the things they not living right. Look at these kids, they out of control. Da, 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 da. But like you said, with the father of the children, the mother, the iniquities of the parents, how they didn't sit down and take the time to teach them or raise. Like my parents raised me. They was there for me and they gave me what's called home training, and made sure that I knew right from wrong, and they try to instill God and that spark and all of that type of thing and stuff like that. So yeah, it carried over. Otherwise, if I didn't have that, maybe right, like you said, maybe I would be running around or been in prison or got killed a long
That's
time
right.
or killed somebody. I could have been a wild whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Now, I'm not disagreeing with none of that you just said. You just said it was right because our parents try to raise us with what they know. But as we also
Well,
read,
some of us do what they know. Like you said, some of us don't. Some parents don't do nothing. Some of us didn't have parents. Some of us only had aunties or grandparents. Some of us was in foster care. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but everybody has somewhat to know. They ain't supposed to be
nah, you
murdering
don't have
nobody.
someone around. Like I said, whether it's a teacher, a counselor, a uncle, or even your friend's parents. You seen somebody, even if it was the Cosby Show. You seen something on somewhere that taught you something that
That's right.
could have listened, and you could have, what they say, take heed to the word of a brother.
That's
And
right.
but like the wave, when we talk, that's a wavelength. Sometimes the wave go over your head, like they say, go through one ear and right out the other. Some people, it misses them. You know what I mean? But that's okay, because even when we do bad or good, it's all for we can get better. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they went through hell in order to come out right. You look at Malcolm X. Before he was Malcolm X, he was Detroit Red. He was pimping, running in
That's
house.
right.
He got arrested. Then next thing you know, his life, he got more correction in his life in the correctional facility, and he came out, to become a way lot more righteous man. You know what I
But
mean?
he didn't go back though, did he?
He didn't regress and turn around.
And there you go.
He kept elevating, elevating,
And
elevating.
wait, that's what I was gonna get at. That's what I was gonna get at with you. What you just said. Even though your parents taught you what you know, right? That's what I was gonna get to a few moments. I'm glad you brought us to that point. Even though your parents, you still elevate now, ain't you? You ain't stopped where
Yeah,
your
well,
parents.
yeah, it's on you. It don't stop you, because knowledge is infinite.
Now you
So
understand what I'm
knowledge,
talking about. Right
knowledge.
here, when it says, then shall thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And ye have done worse than your fathers, for behold, ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. So the key is, a lot of people, when they get out of their parents' house, they start doing what they want to do, whether if it's good or if it's bad.
Well, I
But the
think that
point,
it's okay for that, because you know what? If you try to just play it safe and only like live a certain safety parameter, that means you're living in ignorance. So sometimes you have to, sometimes you're gonna go out and you're gonna make some mistakes. You're
that's
gonna,
true.
but these mistakes, again, like I told you, they help you learn. Even
That's
Malcolm
true.
X, remember Malcolm X? So again, back to him. He was doing a lot of the wrong things, but it led him to get to where he became a better person. So that's the whole thing. Whether you are already doing good and continue to get better, or whether you start off doing bad and you turn out to get better. You know what I mean? Either way, the whole point is, don't start going bad.
That's what I'm getting at, though. That's the whole point I'm getting at. That's
And
why
that's
I
a
asked you.
choice,
He
because
didn't
like
go
you
back to
said,
jail though, did
everything's
he?
a choice. And so if
He
you choose,
got bigger and he kept progressing in life,
but
right?
how many people you know choose to keep going bad though? Not many people
Well,
gonna choose
to
to.
be truthful,
Are there any
I put it
examples
like
we
this.
have of that?
I see a lot of people. I ain't gonna say I see a lot of people. I know of people that came out and went back to jail, come out and going back. Some people just like
They
that
never learn.
lifestyle.
Yeah, they never learn. You're right.
See what I'm
Some
saying? Some
people
people
it
just
don't.
like that life. But the whole thing is that's their damnation. The whole thing is this: no matter what, the Creator still tells the person to keep His law. Now, like I said, if a person don't know, but the Creator gonna always put some like me right here. Let's just me and you for an example. Me and you for an example. I've been sharing this information since I went to my spiritual awakening. I made a promise to the Creator what I was going to do. I've been on that road ever since. Ever since I've been on the road trying to learn, grow, build, and everything as well, right? I've been growing. Now I'm being on here for ever since I've been on here for a long time. I'm just gonna say at least 7 to 8 years, more than that, but I'm just gonna say here 7 to 8 years sharing information. Now, people come and they go. Some people listen, some people don't. But the point I'm getting at is this: the ones that came, that here, and they still choose to do what they want to do because they don't want to believe in what's being said. Like you said, this is a book. Yeah, it is a book. Anybody, somebody getting. They read it and got it from somewhere. Ain't nobody just came here and just started mouthing off like, okay, well, this is it and this is it. Unless there was a prophet that the Creator was talking straight through, like in here. Now, even though it
I
may
mean,
have been
there's some people
distorted,
that come in here wiser than their time and age and stuff like that. But like, I'm not gonna say it like nobody can come here and not already be wiser than the time or as wise as people of their time, and so they can, like you said, they're able to um discern, and they're able to break down and analyze things in ways that people in their time maybe can't do it, and they do it with an ease that majority of the people at that time don't have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not gonna say that it's not people that can't come to the planet like that or come here and for those purposes. Yeah, they come here in order to, like you said, wake up a lot of people.
but now what you just said, they come here to do that. Now those that come to
I ain't
do
gonna say it
that,
like I know
you
that's
got other people
yeah,
that's
obviously.
rebutting against it just because they don't want to believe in what this person's saying or that's given. Me myself, I don't care what a person believes for me.
Yeah,
I
no,
know what the
I mean,
Creator has
you know
given
what?
me
My
to give to
duty
the people.
is just to teach, is just to share my and be, you know, love is to share, you know what I mean? To share my understanding. So it's like if I could share my understanding with people or share a piece of me and it helps you out, then great. You know what I mean? But if
Right.
I don't
But
know.
it's not me that I'm sharing. What I'm sharing my voice and stuff like that. But what I'm giving is what was given to me through the Creator. No
Well, yeah,
different than we just
yeah,
got
this
through
whole
the.
entire life is given to us through the creator. But I'm saying like us, our personal perspective, our personal trials and tribulations,
Yeah,
our personal the way we see it. You know what I mean? This is how our self-style wisdom, the way I say it, the way I bring it to you, the way you bring it, the way you present yourself, that's your presentation.
that's right.
Nobody else is doing that. So
I
that,
agree.
you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but
you know,
all
if
I'm saying is that if the Creator is saying this, and I'm just still going by what your boy said that you had played. I
yeah.
didn't hear nowhere in there. Okay, he said the inner light, and I agree. The inner light is
He
the
said
spirit
I like
that the spirit that he puts on the person to
divine
give the
light.
information.
Yeah, the spark. That's the spark. Without that, you got a lot of people that's walking around, they moving, they live. It's like they're walking dead. You know what I mean? They don't got no spark. So yeah, that's that divine light. You can be walking around, going to work every day, but you ain't got no light in your eyes. You ain't got no spark of life in you. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. For me, maybe when you heard it, you didn't hear how I hear it.
No, no, no. I understand what you're saying, but the only thing
Yeah,
that I'm saying in
I
that
get it.
is for
My
those
man,
who are
yes,
not
I
on the
get it.
same level.
100%.
If he's speaking, if this being recorded, let me put it like this, just like this right here being recorded. If I'm going to try to make sure that I explain it with the best of my ability, where the least person that be like, man, what did I just say?
No,
They
you
can
know
get
what?
it.
I like how he dropped it. Sometimes I can't give you everything. Sometimes you got to go and get the rest on your own. Like, I like that he gave me that special jewel right there that is not the people who are putting on the cloth or putting on the shirt that says I'm Jewish, just throwing on a t-shirt or saying, yeah, I moved over here to the city of is now I'm Jewish. No, just
But
because
it's not even
city,
that.
just because you put on a shirt,
It's
just because
not
you
that.
read a certain study, or
It's
just
not
because you
that.
read a book, don't make it that. And so I like how he says that, yeah, it's inwardly. And that means that's dealing with a lot of levels of shit. It's not even just
Okay,
dealing with
I'm
the literal.
understanding what you're saying on that. And like I said, I agree with you that it is the inner light. But
Mhm.
what I'm saying is, how do you know how to go about getting that inner light? That's what I'm saying. That's my main point. How do you go about getting it? I can say, well, it's not the Jew that say this and that. It's the inner, what inner light? How do I go about getting it? I just gave you the solution. Tell me how to go get it. You
How
can
to,
say inner light all day long.
I mean, that's like Bruce Leroy. I mean, you got to go on your own travels to get the inner light. Can't nobody just give you the glow, like automatically just give you the glow. Like, that takes years of training, years of studying, years of you doing your
Studying
own due
what though?
diligence. Like, you
Study
can't just get the glow without
what
doing.
but the whole thing, you got to remember something. If you understand Bruce Leroy practiced for a purpose. His practice was
He even
karate.
his master even sent him on a dummy mission to go
But
for some mystery god that.
who was his
Hold on,
master?
listen to me. He
I'm
went and
listening.
he had him looking for a mystery god that didn't even exist before he told him the master is in you.
That's
Is in
right.
within you. So again, what my man Will Donahue just said also lines up with that. Is that I don't
So
go look. I'm
my
not looking.
question to
Listen to
you
me. I'm
is
not looking inside of no
my
book.
question to you
I'm
is
not looking
how
inside
would
of
he
no
know
book.
what the inner
It's
master is
already
if he
in,
wasn't doing the
bro.
practice?
I
What
don't
was his
need to read the
practice
book. It's
to even
already in.
understand what the master is inside of him? What was his practice? What was his practice?
Knowledge of self, knowledge of
No,
yourself.
that wasn't his practice. His practice was karate. That's what
But
made
the
him
whole
find out
movie is about.
when
Hold on.
Shonuff was beating him up
But the
and he put his
movie
head
is
underwater.
symbolic to knowledge of yourself.
When
Listen
he
to me.
found out he was the master,
You mastering yourself. You can't be the master of no one else but you.
but okay, how do you master yourself? A person think that, okay, I'm myself. How am I the master? How do I know I'm the master? Tell me.
You got to go through it, bro. It's not something I could just give you in one
And
word
that's
or a
what I'm
sentence.
asking you. But I'm telling you right now,
Nah,
I
but
asked you twice.
the way you kind of asking though is like it's not in a way of a person who would want to know how to be the
Well,
master.
tell me something then. I'm giving you the flow to tell me how
It's
do you
more
become
like
the master?
it's like a debate how to be the master type
No,
question.
no, bro. I'm asking you a question.
Not like, can you teach me how to be the master? It ain't like a humbling, like, how do I be the master question. Like,
I'm asking you that. How do I be the
nah, it's
master?
more like if you don't know and can't tell me, then you don't know type question.
No,
Like,
that's where you
yeah.
take it. See, that's where you
No,
take.
no, no, no. I just showed you that it's two ways to look at that question, and I don't get the other side of that
What
question.
I'm trying to share with
I
you.
don't get the humble version. I
Okay,
feel like that's
okay.
more of a
What
you
my
don't
humbleness is
know what you
asking you
should
is
be
this.
asking. Yeah.
Again, what practice did he get through to come to know that he become the master?
Mastering his physical and mental self, bro.
Okay.
Mastering his physical body, mastering his mental body, his spiritual body, all of it, all three of the bodies. That's how he got to know
Can
the
I
master.
share some with you according to the movie how he became the master?
That's
Can I
my
share with you
favorite.
that?
That's my favorite movie, first of all. But go
No,
ahead.
man, gonna make a difference.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking you about the movie to give me the understanding. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
give you my point of view of how he got there, because you ain't giving it to me the way that I see it.
No, I'm not. I can't. I can't make you see how I see
I
it.
know. That's why I'm going. That's why I asked you what was his
I
practice.
know how I see it.
Number one, his practice was karate. That's number one. In the beginning of the movie, what happened? He caught the correct arrow with the blue arrow. Out of all them other arrows, he caught the blue one. That made him the master that he didn't know who he was.
Wait,
And
hold
who
on.
was the practice was
First of all,
karate itself.
you missing the point that whole
You ain't
blue
let me
arrow.
finish. You're
That
not
blue.
even
Hold
letting
on.
me finish.
Nah, because I gotta say
I'm
this.
giving the breakdown to get to the point how he became the master. How
But the
he
blue
knew he
arrow
was the
didn't
master.
nothing, bro. That was all psychological from his teacher was psyching him up to go find himself.
You didn't even let me get to that, bro. I'm trying to get to there. I can't even get there. I'm at the beginning trying to get
Well,
you to
I'm thinking,
understand.
hold on. Well, like you, I'm thinking about the listeners who might be listening and take for never seen the movie and really think that the blue arrow gave him
I
the
never
master.
finished, bro. You cut me off before I can get done. I kept asking you. You couldn't give it to me. I'm trying to break it down to you now. Now you're
Okay.
cutting me off.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
See, I kept asking you. I'm trying to tell you now. The blue arrow is what he caught. That's how the master knew he was the master. He didn't know he was the master. And then, so now, yes, he did send him on a dummy mission to go find something because he already knew who he was. He looking for something that he couldn't find. It wasn't until Shonuff put his head under the water and he seen the epiphany in his mind when Vanity Six told him, "You like a master to me." That came to him all at one time when he came up there. Who's the master? That's when he realized to himself that he was the master, not even knowing that he was a master a long time ago at the beginning of the movie.
But listen to me. He went through all of those thoughts. He flashback thoughts of things he went through inwardly. He went
That's right.
inside of his mind under the water. He was inside of his mind thinking about all the things that he went through, all the things people would say to him, and things that he went through.
That's right.
And you forgot about the stupid little belt buckle symbol that he was like, yeah, you reached the mastery chamber. When he caught the blue arrow, now I can't teach you no more. You know what I'm saying? And like, go look for some dumb goy. Even that term, some dumb goy, is like some dumb goy.
I think that was supposed to be like the restaurant or something like that. It's been a long time since
No, it
I
was
saw
supposed
it.
to be a master teacher, like the person. It was supposed to be another guy he had to go look for, some
Right.
boy who would teach him. But it was a fortune that some dumb boy was actually a stupid Chinese cookie,
Exactly.
the thing that prints out the fortunes in the fortune cookie. It was a mystery guy, basically of something that don't exist. And
But the point in all his training, the training because if he never did the karate, he would have never got to that point. If he never was being studying karate to even grab the blue arrow,
all of it is not one thing. Is the whole point is everything added up to him becoming a master. It ain't no one single solitary thing
I'm
that
not saying that, bro. My point of saying that is because he practiced.
the real thing that made him, if it's one single solitary thing that made him become the master, is him knowing that inside he is.
Let
That's
me
it.
ask you, if he never took up karate and he'd have met Shonuff, would he have found that out? I'm just asking a question. If he never took up
I'm trying to
karate,
think about it. I ain't trying to just answer just quickly. I'm trying to think before I
I'm just
speak.
asking. I'm just asking. You can think. I'm just asking.
I know that. I already heard you. That's why I'm thinking about the question. So it's like, all right, so if I'm thinking about this, there could be a path that you could get to learn that you the master without karate. It could be lots of ways because that movie is symbolic. You don't necessarily
I
have to
agree
know
with you on that.
because
But,
that movie, just because I don't know karate doesn't mean that I'm not the master of me. So therefore,
bruh,
yes. All right.
bruh,
So I'm answering. Can I finish answering? So
go
yes,
ahead.
the answer is yes. You can become the master of yourself without studying the karate or any one particular thing, because the whole thing is being able to. Something has to bring you to the point of realization of that everything is inwardly within yourself.
I agree with you.
Even God is within you. That's the
I
sparkle
agree with you.
in you. It says it even there.
I agree with you.
Okay, so
Only thing that I'm
that's
sharing
it.
is according to the
So what my
movie,
man
though.
you was saying about inwardly, if you don't got the real ones is the ones who walk around inwardly, knowing that they the part of the Most High, that they already got it in them, and they don't need nobody's validation. They
Uh,
don't need
uh,
anyone's no.
okay, according to that, see, the reason I was asking you according to the movie.
Yeah,
See, we looking at. I'm not talking about outside. I'm talking about according to the Last Dragon.
yeah.
The whole movie was about him practicing or doing karate. That's what the movie was
It's
based
about
on.
becoming a master of yourself, being the master. Yes, yourself. That's
But
what it's about.
but according to the movie, he became a master of knowing who he was through karate. And according to the movie, it was because of karate that he became the master of who he was within because of what he knew. The reason why he found out who he was because he was fighting Bruce Leroy. I'm not Bruce Leroy. Sho'nuff. If he
But
wasn't
that was
fighting
a
Sho'nuff, he's
tribulation.
still
But
been
show
looking
enough
for.
was
He's
just
still been looking for.
show enough was just a representation of adversity.
Uh, yes, we know that. But
Yeah.
the point I'm getting at, suppose he never took karate. Suppose he never met. Then again, suppose he did all that and never met Sho'nuff.
Some challenge. It could have been some other form of adversity
But
or
we're
challenge.
going by the story. Not could have been. Let's go by the story. Well, right
Because
now, the whole
why are you saying what if then?
no. What I'm saying is the story itself. We talking about the fact that you said well it could be something else. My main thing is the movie was based off him learning karate. He learned karate. After he learned karate and the master seen that he was a master and he let him know, then he sent him on a dummy mission, meaning that he gonna be all right. He
It
caught
wasn't even
he
just
caught
karate though.
he
Because like
caught
you just
what you
said,
call it? He caught the bullet between his teeth, right?
that was after the glow. He had already got the glow already though.
No, remember they said he can catch bullet between his teeth before he got the glow. You don't remember them saying
I
that?
mean, they was talking about that. He had been reading and studying that things like a karate master such and such could catching
With his
bullets
teeth.
with his teeth. Yeah. So that was something that he was able to pull off because when you the master now you can do everything you want to do with your body now. You're the master. So that was just another example of him really showing and proving that he is now reached the master level because now he could do stuff that regular men who haven't mastered himself can't do.
And all I'm saying is this: if he hadn't fought Sho'nuff, which was the movie was based on karate, he would have still been looking to find the person that he was looking for.
Well, yeah, that's like how you said first it was if he wouldn't study karate, but it wasn't even study karate because he studied karate. It wasn't until he had the showdown with, like you said, Sho'nuff and everything. He had to bring it out, and he really had to fight and show and prove he is the master and use his skills and go through something to really pull it out of him.
That's how I come to learn this book, bro. That's how I come to learn this book. When people come my way with anything, like you talk about being a master, I don't claim it, but I say the same thing. That's how come I know when people come and try to tell me this and that and whatever, I can go in here and show you according to what the creator said compared to what man said. I can go in here and show you the difference according to the one and the other.
And you know what? It was funny though. It's people who can do that same thing without using that book at all.
They have to know the book in order to do it, bro.
No, I'm saying they could do it in a way in a same because, like you said, knowledge is infinite, so it can present itself. The God and devil can present themselves in many other forms besides just that one version.
And
That's just one version.
I'm talking about me right now. I said what I did. Now,
I know. And
if
all I
you
said
find
was to
somebody,
that, and all I said was to be fair. Was that's not the only way
and
that
I
man
agree,
can
but you
present
said, but
it.
anybody, if you show me somebody that can break stuff down and show you the facts according to the creator's word without using the book, hey, and if they can show me, they say they never used the book, and they can tell me the creator's word without knowing it, without going in here to find out, I'll believe you. But until then, I can't believe it.
It's lots of people that don't even go by that though. That's what I'm saying. G, that are very
But then
righteous.
how do you know how do you know if they're living according to the creator's word? How do you know?
Because they at peace and they not dealing with no type of adversities. They, like you said, they rise past the adversity, all the challenges to the point where ain't no challenge that can be brought upon them, and they living in prosperity, and
They
they
could be, and I'm not
they at peace.
disagreeing with that.
And they
I'm
at
not
peace, and they teaching people to do the same thing, and they doing the knowledge. They each one teach one. They helping people grow and become better, and they helping because life is about also not only helping yourself, but who can you help around you to grow.
So let
That's
me
the
ask
real legacy. The real legacy is when you leave this planet. Yeah, it's easy for all of us to go and say, be selfish and just make sure I got to get mines and I got mines. But no, it's like the real people is yeah, when you got yours, like they say, who did you put on? Yeah, I wouldn't.
After this last question, we're an hour and 30 minutes in. After the last question, we're gonna pull off. But I want to ask you this question. So I'm gonna ask you this like this. I'm gonna ask you like this. You tell me your point of view. So when the Creator said that Israel is going to be the kingdom of priests, and everyone's going to have to go through Israel to understand His law, right? So are you saying that? I'm asking now. Are you saying that that's a lie because if anybody come and they don't need this book to find out and understand the words and the way that the Creator want them to live? Is that a lie or is that true?
Well, what I'm gonna say to that is that there's books, the whole Christianity and the Bible teaches. We already know that it's a lot of the Greeks stolen. Egypt in the oldest Christianity form is the Coptics, which come out of Kemet, which is what Egypt is.
That's
And
true.
so a lot of these a lot of the Bible, the books and the stories are already just rewritten. You have these same similar stories throughout time before the days of time of
I agree.
the
But
Bible. Yeah,
that's in a point.
there's other stories that teach these same principles and teach these same morals, these same values, and deal with showing respect to the Creator and everything like that, and how to live without even, like you said. But yeah, I'm not saying you don't need to. I'm just saying that there are people who, for those who don't, I'm just saying it just to show that there are people, but I'm not saying you don't have to. You should. I would suggest that people do the knowledge to everything. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you.
Read everything. Do as much studies as you possibly can, because, like I said, no man knows it all.
I agree with you 100%. You see, I agree. See,
There's
I
no
don't.
one source that has it all. So therefore, we have to just, or you might need to get it from other places in order to understand that source better. You might need to read some stories here and go through some things there in order for you to come back and then look at the Bible and
I
really
agree.
understand it. So it's like, yeah.
That's how come I understand the New Testament according to Christianity and what they made according to Christianity after the prophet came. That's why Christianity wasn't here when the prophet of the New Testament was here. The Christianity came in Antioch. That was way in time of Acts.
Yeah, Jesus' teachings wasn't even Christianity. What John the
Thank you.
he was up under John the Baptist, and John the Baptist teachings, that wasn't what they teach, isn't what John the Baptist was teaching at all before Jesus went off. The so-called man Jesus went and got his own following and
Right.
having his own disciples. You know what I mean? And people don't even know stuff like Jesus had a brother. What's his name? The Just John something the Just. I can't. Jason the Just. I think it's Jason the Just,
I
and
think he had a brother named James, but
James the Just. That's what
mm-hmm.
James the
Yeah,
Just.
but my whole
And they
point.
were like Jewish. They were different because they had Jewish traditions, but they was teaching, you know, a lot of the different teachings.
And that's where you add to the law.
There's even nah, because even that's how over there when I was talking about Ethiopia, a lot of them had Jewish traditions, which was earlier than the Christians. That's why you have like the people who do uh up under the Ethiopian Bible, the Coptic Bible. They have certain Hebrew like traditions just because they existed in that land before that was even there also. You know what I'm
But
saying?
do you and I don't know if this Bible or this I don't know, I want to call it religion, but this way of life. Have you ever heard about the Hammurabi Code?
You know what? Yeah, I haven't actually read the Hammurabi
I
Code, but
have.
yeah. Yeah, so much readings that like this what's the one brother too? It's another good one. That's not even part of the Bible, but it's the
Not talking about the Ma'at, is you? That's no, that's
that
probably
that's
Kemet.
that's that's good too. The 44 laws of Maya, but
Uh-huh.
about
42 laws of Ma'at.
the 42. The talking about also what is it? The dang. God, man. I hate when I can't remember something. It's right on the tip of my.
Yeah, but the Hammurabi Code was before. I do believe was before the Ethiopian Bible. Hammurabi
Yeah,
Code
oh,
was
sure, bro. Yeah, that's
I think it was before the Ma'at, because that was one of the first uh language. Well, I can say first
well, that's why
language,
history
but
is so important because if you don't know your history, bro, like what you just talked about earlier, knowing where you come from, knowing the history of where all of this stuff began and where it started. That's why the origin, that's more history, what it say, is the best rewarder of those who study it because you know where everything comes from. You know,
right.
that's why it's very important to understand the origins of all these things, the true origins.
But see, the whole thing is the
Mhm.
origins. We don't know which is true and which is false because the origins has been altered in many, all the way down to Christianity.
Well, you're right because exactly what happens in most wars, right? The history is altered to
That's right.
reflect the winners of the
The
issue.
war.
Right. So right, you got to look at the same way with the Bible. There was something before that at this time. Like all of these things, there's a agenda. What do they call it? The what's the word that starts with an A? The what's the word they use nowadays for that? The agenda. There's an agenda
Yeah.
when a person alters the history. There's an
Yeah.
agenda. They want it to go a certain. They want it to be taught that
But
this is what happened
that's right. But
because it
this is the
falls in
reason
line
why they have the
with
Greek and the Roman Empire. But see, that's the reason why I go with prophecy. See, and that's the point, the difference between origins and nationality. I go with prophecy. See, when I go in here, I find and see what we're going through today. I see what was said that was going to happen and where we are today in the things that happen. That's what I go by.
That's what I was
See,
talking about, Gospel of Thomas. That's what I was trying to remember. The Gospel of Thomas.
okay. So that's still in the new that's still part out in the New Testament. So
Yeah,
that
but
still
he's
could be
dropping
altered.
it's a lot of jewels in there, man. It's a Gnostic text. So it was associated with early Christian groups like the Ebionites and other Gnostic.
Right.
And Gnostic means to know, the knowers, Gnostics, pertaining to know, gnosis. You know what I mean? When a
Yep.
doctor makes a prognosis, that, what I mean, that word, that's how old that word is, of gnosis. You know what I mean? To know, you know what I mean? So you got to start dealing with knowing, not believing, because like you said, we
But
don't
that's the
deal
point where
with,
I'm at. That's why I'm talking about prophecy.
yeah, we don't
Prophecy
deal
is
with
to know by
yeah.
what was prophesied to happen in order to come to pass. You
But
understand what I'm saying?
even that though, a certain person was writing these prophecies down. So you gotta make sure that, again, like I said, the agenda is not altered in the
You
when the
can't
prophecy.
alter prophecy. Let me ask you, what is a prophecy to you? Tell me what a prophecy is to you. I want to understand what you think a prophecy is.
Okay, so for me, a prophecy is like this. It's like, okay, um, tomorrow, that's like me predicting 9/11 is gonna happen and it happened. That's a prophecy. But without me knowing none of the CIA, I don't know nobody in the government, I
There
don't
you go.
know nobody in Al Qaeda, I don't know none of these people that own the 9/11, but I'll go to sleep, I have a dream super clear that something's gonna happen before it happens.
But
That's
not just something. A prophecy is when they tell you directly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen.
exactly like that, like something like that. I can see, I
So
know.
then, if I'm sharing with you that if I go by prophecy, how can that be altered if I'm sharing with you that what I see in here is
Because
prophecy?
everything is 2020 hindsight. We wasn't there when these people say they made the prophecy, so we don't know that this.
So then let me ask you, if you said that you predicted that 9/11 was going to happen, it showed you and this and that, and it
The
happened.
only way it would be believable is if you know that I called you. If I called you and said today, it said before on 9/10, right? I call you at 9/10 after I wake up at 9:10 and say, yo, G, I just had the craziest dream last night that 2 planes crashed into the 9/11, and the buildings fell, son. And then we go to sleep, and then tomorrow wake up at 9/11. The
But
only
that's
way
a
no
dream.
prophecy happened is because I talked to you over the phone the day
No.
before.
That's a dream. Suppose you wrote it down and said that it's going to happen tomorrow. Then you prophesy something.
Nah, even me telling you the dream is prophesizing, telling you my vision, whether it came in a dream or whether I closed my eyes and started
Right.
daydreaming in the daytime and just started seeing the vision in my mind, like just imagining it in my head. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That could be also a prophecy. Is my,
So
in
then,
my,
so then, so
my
then, how can they alter a prophecy when they don't know what's going to happen?
because the book was written after it happened.
Huh?
Listen to me. Take it very slow when you listen to me. The book was written by somebody transcribed, right? You wasn't there when the prophecies was happening. So I could write a whole, like how some people say Shakespeare wrote the Bible. If I could write a story of a man that I can write a character, right? I could say, John the Baptist is a character and he's gonna dream this, and then I'm in chapter 2, this happens. If I'm writing a movie or a story, I can make anything happen in a story, right? We don't know that these people even existed, is what I'm trying to say, bro.
So you telling me? I'm asking you this. So you telling me that if it was said, we just read Revelation 2:9, 3
Mm-hmm.
and 9. They that call themselves Jews and are not, but are of the synagogues of Satan. I'm gonna have them come and worship at your feet. That ain't happening right now. Is that happening right now? Or is that going to happen?
It ain't. It's not. It haven't happened now, and I don't know if it ever happened at all.
Exactly. But it's written that it's going to happen, though, isn't it?
So is it prophecy until it happens?
When it happened, that's when the prophecy come to pass.
So
It talks.
we can all say a bunch of things gonna happen, but until they happen, are they really prophecies?
So no different than you. No different
That's
than
like
you
me
having.
saying, okay, we gonna go to the America economic gonna collapse. The whole America economics is gonna collapse, and it'll be the end of the dollar, and there's gonna be a World War III. And like I could say all of this stuff, and then until it happens, is prophecy. I mean, eventually it's gonna happen, right? Eventually, one day, all great nations they rise and fall. So, eventually, one day, America, the way the world is changing and things is power, different people coming, countries, nation states, and is in fighting is different factions within the nation that's fighting each other. You got Democrat, Republican, different sects. They going against each other within the nation state,
But
even in
that's all part of wars and rumors of wars.
that's it. That right, and even in nations, there's factions that go against each other right within the nation. So, so if I could just say that, yeah, America's gonna one day the dollar's gonna disappear, and
That we already on the brink of that now. But they've
there'll
been
be
talking
more.
about that for the longest.
Yeah, but is that yeah? Everybody's been saying that for the longest. So are we all prophets for saying this?
It was already stated that a
I
lot of
mean,
people.
and you know what? Prophecy is also that's one mystery side of prophecy is when you visualize something before it happens. That's like the super
That's
connected. Like
prophecy.
that's prophecy. But another way I call a prophecy is when you're able to be so predictive about what's about to happen. When you can
That's when
just
that's
that's
when the
when hold
creator
on.
has
It's
said.
like when you know the chain of the steps is it's like when you could call checkmate in the next 2 moves. When you already see the game, the person you playing may not see it, but you can see the game is over in the next checkmate in 3 moves.
Yeah, that's
You know what
because of
I'm
how
saying?
good you know the game. That's when you're a
Well, that's
master
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
game.
There's some people, remember we was talking about that earlier, that could come to the earth already activated or more advanced at breaking down what's going on in their time and era to where they can make predictive calls like that. And it sounds like you said a prophecy because they're ahead of the game in their thinking they're so far ahead of the game in the way they see things that they could call out something that's guaranteed to happen, but they calling it out in advance and it sounds like a prophecy. So there's two versions of prophecy to me. There's, like I said, there's the one where you get the vision and of something that happened, but I've never seen nobody do that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's like a mystery type of magic.
Well, it's all in the book. It's just that you have to apply yourself to see it. Let me pause this real quick because we're almost 2 hours in. We're gonna pause this real quick. Other than that, just like to share with everybody that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And we'll be right back. This is the end of part one. I don't even know what we're gonna call this just yet, but we'll find out at the end of the situation. This is open conversation, which me and G1 is having an open dialogue tonight on a certain situation. You can have your thoughts on the way you think on the way the conversation is going. But we'll be right back with part two. This is in a part one. Don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but this is open conversation, which is fight fire with truth. So we're gonna pause it real quick on Zoom. All right. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing this beautiful night? Tonight is, I don't know if I told the date, but it's the night after November 30th, 2025. This is the night after Sunday, November 30th, 2025. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation tonight. We don't have a title just yet, but maybe by the end of this we'll have one. But we've been having a conversation, mainly me and G1. This is open conversation, so we've been having a conversation tonight, mostly about mastery, mostly like mastery of self, mastery of information, learning where, what, and who the creator is, might as well say, according to conversation. And G1 played a small portion of something that he wanted me to hear about this guy speaking on I just say speaking on Revelations 3 and 9. And our conversations kind of picked up from there, from that point. And I first started off by I like to give a recap. I started off first when my brother Barack, he was on here a little earlier, and he shared about this sister named Sister Kia Pruitt on which is on Rumble. She used to be on YouTube, but they kicked her off several times because she put knowledge out there. You know, she put knowledge out there. And I was saying that the creator, I went into sharing what was shared yesterday when G1 asked me a question about the 144,000. So I went into the scriptures and shared about the 144,000 yesterday, and those are the ones who the creator has anointed. And that's another thing I want to say. I'm glad that hit me. Who the creator has anointed to share the information of his word throughout the earth, right? So after that, G1 came in. He came in after I was sharing that information about that. And then G1 shared the information he wanted me to hear about this guy sharing the information about, I guess, I didn't hear the 144,000 part, but I did hear the part about the Jews. And he was saying that, to be Jew is to be inward Jew. But it was things, and we got on the conversation from there because there was things that I did not hear him speak of that is according to prophecy, that's according to scripture, that's supposed to happen. And that was my take on the same information. That we got off of that and we talked about other things around that. So we're back now. And I was, the last thing we really was talking about was prophecy. So I was asking with G1 about prophecy, and he said that if you say, I would let him say, but I can repeat what he said. He kind of said just like if he had a dream about 9/11, the night before, and he said it's going to happen, and it happened. That was like he prophesied, right? So, and I'm saying, well, if there's prophecy going on in the Bible, repeat what you said on that point. If it was prophesied in the Bible, something was going to happen. You said that they could write it out or they could make it happen. How did you say that? G1? I don't want to put words in your mouth. That's why I want you to
Oh
say.
my, yeah, I started playing my fair. What you said? What happened?
Yeah, when you talked about prophecy in the Bible, when I asked you, when I explained, I think I explained it correctly. You said if you had a dream about 9/11 was going to happen, and you told them, man, there's two planes that ran into the building, and the
Oh,
buildings came down.
example of like my example, what like how I would see a prophecy, but like, what you doing? Yeah, that would be my example of a prophecy, but one of them. But like more realistic example is a prediction or something. You know what I mean? Like making a distinct prediction. But
That
yeah, like
something was going to happen in the future.
that something's gonna happen and like it happens. You know what I mean? That's another form of prophecy. Let's also, man, matter of fact, while we since we on that word,
Wait, before you go on, because I want to ask you. So then, what I'm asking you is, so you're saying the prophecies in the Bible are not true, that they making these things happen?
no, nah, that's not what I'm trying to say, bro.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I was trying to figure out. That's the reason why I asked you about it, and you said, well, they can.
Let's just say this. The word prophecy is just to say that a thing will happen in the future.
That's what a prophecy
That's,
is.
that's straight. So the word prophecy only simply means say that a specific thing will happen in the future. That's
Right.
what the word prophecy means. That's it. It's
I
nothing
got
tied
you.
to it, nothing holy about it. Anybody can say something about a specific thing that will happen in the future. It has nothing to do. You can call the lottery number. That's a if you want get being real about it, that's a prophecy. If you say tonight number 555 is gonna come out and you play it and then it hits, you prophesize the number that came
Right. You
out of
said that was going to happen in the future. Right.
that's something that was gonna happen. Exactly. So it's that's
But
nothing mysterious. Like you don't have to be like, I mean, it does take us something. It takes something special to do that. Like in order for you to just be that in tune and that alignment, especially to call a number out and just be like, I got a friend that's really one of my righteous brothers. He great at that. He be hitting me every day. I'm like, yo, bro, is this your superpower or something? I'm like, you in alignment, you on a roll, because he does this like at will. Like, I mean, and he hitting for 2,000, 5,000, like not little numbers. Like he's hitting. He puts $50 down on a number and he hits them like at will. Like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, so that's a form of prophecy. And this is from somebody that I know physically for real that does this. Like, and
right.
I
So
seen do it and
right. So that's in numbers. Have he give you anything that's going to happen like in today's time that's going to happen like to a people? What's going to happen
well,
at a certain
I wouldn't say for him, no, that's not his. No,
right.
that's not how we build, and we don't deal with each other on that type of stuff.
Right.
As far as like someone else might be able to do stuff like that.
Right. And
They say, what do they say? Nostradamus, so called, had a lot.
right, exactly. So what and how we got off on that conversation was about the guy that you said that you had played, and he was talking about
Well, yeah,
uh
William Donahue. It was the whole point of that was just to show how some people are claiming they this type of Jew. I'm this, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew. But the whole thing was he brought up the synagogue of Satan and how saying that a lot of these people would be claiming that they're Jews, but they're gonna end up worshiping at the feet of the real ones who he said was basically those who practice inwardly and not necessarily saying that in order when you practice word inwardly you're a Jew. He's just saying that for those who are running with this whole Jew
narrative.
narrative of I'm a Jew or this nationality or this because I wear the Jew shirt or I'm this person, Nah, that's not what makes it. He's saying what counts is what's inwardly, whether you are practicing the divine word inwardly light, it shows that.
There you go. Now I'm with you 100% there.
Yeah, and so that's the way I'm taking what he's saying. That's the way that it rang off to me. That's the way it struck out to me. But yeah, how we got into the prophecy talk. was basically, we was talking about the Bible, and I was saying how because Bible means books, it's just stories. So Bible is just a book of stories because each chapter is dealing with different stories, different people. So what I was saying about as a prophecy is that, as far as in those senses, is that we wasn't there in those times. I didn't live in the time of these people, so I couldn't say that what they put in there happened based on them prophesying, even though I'm not going to just say it didn't happen either. I'm just saying that I'm using critical thinking when I look at it. I'm not just taking it on face value that it's a prophecy, because a lot of this stuff, people have been saying since I don't know, in late 90s, that certain things in Revelation, every time, the year 2000 coming, it's the end of Revelation,
But
Revelation is coming.
but
I've
even though
heard
they
that
were
for so
saying that though,
long.
bro, even though was they prophesizing that, or they was just saying that?
I mean, they saying this according to what they reading, because obviously they ain't the ones prophesying. They,
This is what I'm getting at.
they saying based on what they reading in Revelation, this is the time of Revelations, and they want to say, yeah, this is the end days, this is Revelations, and obviously it's not, because now we in 2025. So I've
No,
been,
no. What that it all depends on how you take what they're saying, because we're living in Revelations now, but they
but I've been
can't
hearing
prove and
say stuff like that since, like I said, since the late 90s when Y2K was in 2012, and every time something, it seemed like we had this apocalyptic ending, and people start bringing up Revelations. So it's like we always in Revelations. If that's the case, we always in
we
it.
have been.
You know what I mean?
We've been in
Been in it
Revelation.
for a long time, like because people been saying it before I was born. I'm sure it was people in my mother's in the '60s who might say, "Yeah, these is Revelations," and I'm saying I could already hear they probably, and I probably could pull up some old, church sermons or something, old Islamic sermons that
But
people.
you have to understand what's being said. We are in Revelations. Revelations is a timing. That's all it is. Revelations only means to reveal the time you're in. We are in Revelations. We're living it now. We're living in the things that was said that was going to happen, that was prophesied that was going to happen.
Well,
We're
yeah,
living in,
I ain't, I
huh?
ain't agreeing with that, as far as like saying, like, yeah, a lot of these things that they saying in Revelations, you could look around and see that, yeah, this is what's going on. We doing what we
And
doing.
that's the difference.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to speaking about certain specific things, when it talked about the mark of the beast, when it talked about the mark, when it talked about the name and the name and the number, this was written long before where we at today. It was talking about what was going to happen. That name is your name in all caps. The number, you can't buy or sell without them in this day and time. The New World Order started in 1933. Between 1913 and 1933 was the real New World Order. That's when the New World Order actually started. A lot of people can't see it. They thinking it's still gonna come. They live in it. They inside of it. That's Revelations right now. They live in it. They don't see it because they don't understand it. They still think, well, AI, that's just another added point of the New World Order. That's just ever since then, everything's been added up, added up. It's still going on. Like you said, we're in Revelations now. We're in it. But that was prophesied. That was prophesied to happen. And the only thing that I was saying, that when you're saying that these are books, even though they're books, no different than you said, like if you let's just say you'd had a dream about 9/11 in 2020, but in your mind it was like, okay, I gotta write this down. Man, Twin Towers gonna get hit by two planes and they're gonna come down.
You
And
said
this
in
you
2020.
write it down.
You said
In
in
20
2020 they happened in 2001. That would be after.
No, I meant 2000. I
Oh,
meant I meant 2000. I said 2020. I
oh,
meant 2000.
oh.
You write it down in 2000 and you write it in the book. In 2000, you wrote it down and said, or 1999. Yeah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And it's going, two planes going to run into it, it's going to happen. You wrote it in the book a year before. This 2000. I said 2020. 2000. 2001. Bam, it happens. You still written it down.
Okay, what about this then? Check this out. What about what they say, what we going through? You hear a lot of people say, they setting us up, they preparing us when they have what's called predictive programming, where they
Uh-huh.
put out a movie that's gonna have some stuff that's gonna happen in the future or supposedly happen in the future, but really they gonna make it happen in the future. It ain't because it was gonna pass, it's because they gonna make it happen. So it's like, what about if they was just reading the Bible and say, you know what, yeah, maybe this ain't gonna happen, but we gonna make it happen. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. How
there's
can they
also
make it
that.
happen when people
There's
didn't even think of something like that?
there's
Like
even that version of it too. You know what I mean? So,
right. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm asking you is this: the stuff that was written was so long ago to the point that the stuff in technology of today wasn't even in that time. So how can they think of something and they only could describe it in what was given to them in their mind, like fire coming down from the sky? In the beginning of the Roman Empire, how they gonna think of atomic bombs or tanks? That's in the book.
remember when they say you see stuff like airplanes on the Egyptian, gold statues of airplanes and
Yeah, I
stuff
remember
like that.
they show which cars
So
of
we
them.
can't say that they didn't have these type of,
No,
what I
no. I'm
mean? It
talking
might,
about
yeah.
okay, we seen that, but we never seen and heard anything about they never said anything like that about bombs and stuff. They seen the
But listen,
airplanes.
do they tell us everything? They might that might be some of the knowledge that's not gonna be revealed to
It
everybody.
could be, and we saying could, we still going could. It could have been a vision of one of them to put it on there too.
Well, that's why I said it's critical thinking when you look at both sides and you just analyze both. You have to. It's called a theory when
So, but
when you take into analysis of everything to test it for when you testing your theories out to see what works and what isn't real about the everything that you're dealing with.
I understand, but we still going with if
Yeah.
and could have and would have. My
Well,
main
every
thing is, but what
story
I'm
is the
saying
if
is
and woulda,
this.
coulda, because we haven't went and searched on our own to go prove any of these people was around. We don't have the power to go over to these. We haven't traveled over to these lands that did the research. This is someone who gave us the research. So if that's the case, we are definitely dealing with what if because we didn't do any research other than what
But the
read.
point I'm getting at is they definitely put it in the book and said it was going to happen. But this
But
is what I'm
that
getting
could
at.
be predictive programming. This could be some Roman Empire predictive program. That could be part of like how they make a movie. Back then, books was the movies. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's a story, right? So it's stories are used to teach a principle or moral. It's a point to it. Remember, I told you, it's not no story without a point to it. It's no just pointless
So
story.
you saying everything that happened, man did it?
No, that's not. You see, when I
No,
say
I'm
stuff
asking.
like
I'm
this,
asking. I'm asking.
well, make sure that it's understood. It's a question. Um, Nah, I'm not saying that at all. Mm-mm. I'm saying think about it always in all ways,
Right.
not just one way.
Okay. In my thoughts and what I come to understand, well, I guess what it is, I went through my spiritual awakening, so I guess what it is that
I mean, you got your way of looking at it. You
no,
right.
no,
That's
no.
right. You're
What
supposed to
I'm
have
saying
your
is
way,
this.
bro. You was formulated in a certain way. Your life went in a certain direction.
There you
You've been
go.
through enough things to see things in a way that you see it.
That's
That's
true.
what wires our brains, bro. Like when we go through certain time periods, certain uh lifestyles, all of that wires our thinking to a certain way, bro. Like
I agree. I agree with you. I agree
yeah.
with you on
So,
that.
and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't disagree. Just because I might not agree with everything that
Bruh,
says,
bruh,
okay,
I'm with you. I know
yeah.
everybody ain't gonna be on the same page. Believe me, bro. That's why we having our conversation.
That's why we supposed to sit down and bring, because, like you said, two minds come together is better than one just trying to figure it out. Because
Right.
might have a way to see things that you not looking, and vice versa. We
Exactly.
might be
And that's
the same painting. We both looking at the same painting picture, but you
we
might
see it differently.
you see something that I might not see or see it in a way that I don't see it. And then
And I agree with you.
exactly.
So
So and there's nothing wrong with that. I never
right. Bruh, that's the reason why we have our conversations.
yeah.
I don't disagree with nobody because the way they think. Everybody think their own way. We're not actually everybody gonna think the way they want to think. Nobody our job is to try to get an understanding of each other.
That's what the whole point of thinking is to come to get an understanding. That's it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's why I'm conversating with you, open conversation.
All of that. Yeah. We
Some people now you talk to some hardcore other people,
They
they gonna think, well, he don't believe that. Then they'll stay up, or
yeah,
you a devil, me a devil, whatever.
they'll start to, like you said, just doing all of that just because you go, you might not be in 100% agreement. They start.
With them. That's right.
Well, and that's okay too, because some people they stand on what it is to that degree. Okay, fine, all right. I'm not mad at it. If that's the way that's just I know that's as far as I can go as far as building with a certain person like that. We can only go so far in the conversation because I don't want to call it a bias, but like you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Some people are just biased to their own beliefs only. They don't want to hear anything outside of what they think or
Then
believe.
what they've come to know.
They don't. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, no is subjective too, because some people, they might believe, you might, at a point in the world, the whole world thought the world was, they knew the world was flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people thought this was knowledge. Like, yes, we know the world is flat. So just because you say you know something doesn't even, what's the saying goes?
Don't mean you know.
The more I learn, the wise man knows that he knows nothing at all.
There you go.
So, right. That's why I don't just be like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Because like really the wise person knows they don't know nothing at all. Because it's like things are subject what we think we know, it's always subject to like it might be more to it or a deeper part of it we didn't get or missed or something like that. So it's like I don't just be like, yeah, I know what I'm everything I'm saying, I know 100%. Like, no, we don't. We just come to we comfortable with saying, yes, these are things that I stand on I don't just believe in it, but these and a lot of this stuff is fact you can prove. You know what I mean? Like 1+1 is 2. We can take these numbers and show this. That's something we can say. Yeah, we know this. 1+1 is 2. We know that for a fact.
Right. So I want to ask you something on some that what you know on this point. Cause I know, cause you got said it before we got back on. You said like about a sky god. So what is your definition of what you believe God, creator, however, what's your thoughts on the creator or on a universe? I don't know how to say it. How would you?
What,
What would
like you
you?
said, the all, the Lord, the one in the all, the everything, all at once. The God, you know what I mean? That's in you. That's me. That's the spark. That's it. It's not a mystery. Like it's not like some invisible thing you can't see because it's a supreme being. God means supreme being. So for being means it has to exist. It can't just be something that don't exist. Like, you know what I mean? So that's God is the supreme being. That's you. That
So can you describe what you say God is? Because I still trying to understand when you say and I just want to get it to understand it from your point of view.
Mhm.
About because I know you say some sky god or some mystery god or whatever. I want to get your understanding of what your thoughts are on what you think. And I'm saying God because anything can be a God. So I'm saying God. I call the creator Yah, the Almighty, but I like saying the all of all, the universal consciousness. I like saying that because to me, universal consciousness is every and all things
No,
to
you
me.
God is like you said, what you just said, any and all things of consciousness. That's part of the you can't even just put God into just one definition.
That's right.
As far as like it's the how like Christianity and different religions and how you like praying to something like it's Santa Claus. Like you get what I'm saying? Something that don't
Right.
like
So
that.
why do you the definition sky god?
No, I mean that ain't what I called it. That's just I think I heard you say that one time, and I heard
I
I,
don't say no. Well, I mean,
I heard you
I'm
say Sky Daddy. I heard other people say that too. So
not me. You never heard me say that.
no,
I've
I heard
heard
you say
other
it one
people.
time. Yeah, it's on the show. These shows are recorded. I can't remember.
What you said? You heard me call on the sky god.
No, I didn't. You taking? I said I heard you say that
Oh
term.
yeah, I have mentioned that people have said that. Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
then, bro. So that's all I said. Nobody. You putting claims on it that I didn't make. I didn't say I claimed that you pray to us, Guy Daddy. I said
Okay, no,
use
I
the
was just
word.
asking. I'm just trying to get an understanding. That's
Nah,
what I'm talking
put
about.
a extra on it. I just said I heard you use the word, and you just admitted that you have used it, right? So that
Yeah, no, I used it in
I
case
don't use that. I
in
don't use that
in
term on
saying that other people said. I've heard people on Facebook said it.
mm-hmm.
I've heard people. I just heard people say the sky god or what have. And I always said universal consciousness.
All of that. These are different. Like you said, everything is consciousness, bro. Like all of this, the all in all, the like you said, Allah. That's just all law. You know what I'm saying? The all. That's just the one. The all. You know what I'm saying? The creator. That's every.
I say creator, the all of all, the almighty.
Yeah,
Like
the
I
all.
say, anything can be. People that worship water. They
Nine
say
names
water is
attributes
God.
to it.
Huh?
Like, yeah, like you said, there's so many names you can't just put it under one thing. And like you said, God, that's really a German word. That's
Right.
German.
Actually, it comes from GOTT, Gott.
God,
That's where it comes
that,
from, and then they end up
it just means
translating from
good.
Gott.
Just a variation of good. Good, supreme, like you said, is a good being, a good supreme being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Supremely good being. That's all. So yeah, when you in this form, we living like that. We is gods, like you said. We not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like we can just create. We do create though. Everything you create is the
We are the children of the Almighty, the all of alls.
like the sun.
Yeah,
The
we
sun.
are creators.
Like you said, we create life out of us. You had kids, I had children.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we that's where we, you know what I'm saying? The planet creates life on and on and on. The atom, everything that's in the universe is in me. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
Down to the cellular, you know what I'm saying? All
All the way down to the atom itself.
the atoms, all of that. Like you said, so I'm the universe, everything in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it all comes from us, bro. Like everything you see that us around us come from the earth. When we die, where do we go? Where does this flesh go back to?
Back to the earth.
Earth. And like the energy in us, it can't be created nor destroyed. So when it's gone, it's gonna exist for infinite. You know what I'm saying? So you part of it all. Like that's what I mean when I say that. Like, you know,
Okay, so you saying the creator is the all of alls as well. You're not. So I don't know. I
but
just
it's
thought.
not a mystery. Like, yo, you're the looking for Santa Claus, some invisible, or you know, some people might picture a big white man in the sky that's going like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how people look at it, but there's multiple ways that people probably don't understand that it is down to the level of it's really us in the
Yeah,
flesh.
I'm just trying. Yeah, I was just trying to get a better understanding of your thoughts because when I try to explain according to this, even though you man, this thing, you yourself even agree that this is made of books, right?
Well, that's
And
thought. That's what the Bible literally translates to is book.
it's books.
The
Yeah,
Bible means books. I mean,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree with you. But
So
the
what is
point,
book? Yeah.
the point I'm getting at by the Bible being made of books, do you believe that there's truth in these books?
Well, for one, I don't remember. Like you and me, we don't use these words belief because belief is to be lied to. That means
Okay.
it's
Do
gonna be
you do
lied.
you do you think truth is in these books?
I think, and I know it's truth in there.
Okay, that's what I'm just trying to get down because I'm just trying to get a better understanding because it seems like it seems to me. I'm just telling you what it seems like in this just our conversation. It seems like you don't really believe or not
I
believe.
believe it. Yeah,
You
nobody.
don't think
Do
you
we
don't
believe
think
it?
that any truth is in
Oh,
here because they're just books being made by man.
no, I ain't say that. I already
I ain't say I said that's
earlier.
my thoughts. I ain't say you saying it,
I don't
but
even
that's my
know how you
that's why I'm asking you
listen.
questions to
I
get a
don't
better
slow
understanding.
down, bro. I don't even know how you can have these thoughts when I already told you that the original man wrote and created the original Bibles. So,
Original Bible.
and
Okay, I got you. I got you. I'm listening. I'm listening.
so that if we is already connected to the Most High, and man is shown, the God and devil shows man through man, and these stories are from man, that's already telling you that yes, God can speak through man and devil can speak through the man in these stories in the
There
Bible.
you go.
So I'm not saying like I don't understand where you could how you
No,
even
no, no, no. I'm just getting a
how
better
you got to
understanding.
the correlation.
No,
Yeah,
it's just I guess my understanding on when I'm sharing with you, I say prophecies is in the book, and then to me, you're saying that well these are just books, and I'm sharing with you that and then you said well man can make them
every
because
the only reason I said they just books G is because for one we can't test and go back and see who really wrote them. We don't have no research team. We haven't traveled to the lands and like we going off what was given to us. So that's what I'm saying. That's face value. I cannot just accept something on face value. I would have to, like you said, if you want to be knowing for real, you would know, like, yes, I know who this and that person. They definitely live. I've done the research myself, not relied on National Geographic or some other entity to tell.
So then, so if that's the case, we don't even live 100 years, right? So how you gonna come to the conclusion of
Wait,
the
what'd you just say? What you
we don't live 100 years? I'm just
Let me
saying.
stop you. Hold on. I just met a sister last Sunday that I was volunteering with. I was at the Mother Gaston house doing voluntary archiving of her special collections into their library, and I was archiving with a lady whose mother was there with her, who was so alive at 102 years old, and
I
she
got you.
was 80 years old, and walked there by herself without her daughter. Came there, was in full motion, eating, talking,
I'm
been
with you.
at
I, let,
1955.
let
So
me.
I already just proved right there. You just said
I
nobody
need to
don't make.
rephrase that. I need to rephrase that. When I meant about we don't live to be 100, I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about the average overall. Everybody growing them because yeah, I know that. I've met a couple of 100 years old people. I'm talking about the
My
average
landlord is
people.
too. My grandmother is 93. So I mean,
But that's your.
I
I'm
could
talking
keep
about
going
the
on and on
average.
and on and on and on, bro. Like
Right. What I'm talking about is
almost nearly 100.
the average people mainly get up to anywhere 70, 80, sometimes 90. I'm not talking about just, like the very few people that make it. I'm talking about the average man don't make it to 100. So what I'm
Man, you're
asking you
right.
is this,
A lot of men don't make it to these ages. For a
and
lot
this
of
is what
reasons.
I'm getting at. So
For a lot
my
of it's
point,
for a lot
the
of
point I'm
before,
getting,
but
the reason
but
I'm saying that
but you
is
gotta also
because
mention that
you're
the reason
saying
that they don't
that
get to 90.
you're not relying on the
The reason
information
they
that's
don't
put
get to
in here.
90 G is because of their own fault though. They doing a lot of things they shouldn't be doing.
But that ain't the reason the point I'm getting at is this. You said that you're not relying on the information from here because you want to know on what you need to know and how much studying are you going to learn to know from the stuff that was said in time past or what's going on today to put yourself in the right
They
alignment.
say what they call it parables, bro. I just look at it as like they parables and they have points. I get to the point. I get to the because the whole reason, even if it was a true story, right? Even let's just say everything in there is true. All these people existed. Everything at the times they say happened in the time they happened. Let's just say all of it's true. It's still the whole point is it's a point to it. There's a moral to it. And so that's the whole real jewel of the reason. It doesn't matter if they existed or not to me because the real thing is that whether you get the point of the whole story, son, and that's it. That's and so when you get caught up into stuff like that, and whether it's true or do you believe it's true, that which the more important question is, do I get the moral and the understanding of the?
And there you go.
I
So
mean,
while you're saying that,
why
I'm
you
asking you
if
about.
that's if it's and then you go, why you just didn't guys ask
No,
that?
oh no, I'm saying there you go. What I'm talking about. So what I'm asking you is if the Creator gave the law to his prophets and to Moses, you could say. I'm saying to Moses because that's what he was spoken to give the law. And if the law is there for us to abide by, do you agree or disagree to those books that was given by the creator that was given to Moses to give to the people?
This is common sense, bro. I'm not gonna kill somebody that's just for no reason, bro. Like you said, thou shalt not commit murder. Like if there's no reason to just like if I'm not defending myself because you trying to kill me and
There
I
you go.
get you up off me because you literally on top of my body with a knife about to stab me and I gotta just twist it back at you in order to keep you from killing me, then I mean, yeah, that's obvious, bro. It's common. These are common sense. I'm not gonna
Right.
that's not from you. I mean, these are common sense things, bro. Like I think these before even a person even need to read the Bible, like these are things you understand about the 10 laws. Like if I know this is your wife, your girl, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, be trying
Right.
hollering,
Right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
sleeping with her and all
Now
this.
the only thing I'm asking is that I'm glad, bro.
These
You
are
don't know. I'm
but
glad
your
you're
boy
saying that.
David did. He said he killed a man and he slept with another man's wife. He committed two of them. Like, you know what I'm
There
saying?
you
So,
go.
so
But
yeah.
okay, now the only thing I'm saying besides those 10, let's just say the creator told us to eat certain things to keep our bodies clean. Like we're not supposed to eat pork, we're not supposed to eat catfish, and the dietary laws, and then a certain type of linen we're supposed to put on. See, this stuff a lot of people don't know. This is what I mean by going to study to find out the things that's there that people don't know about. That's the other point of view that I was getting at. You're right, you're 100% on point. What you just said. We know, like you said, that's the little light that we already have in us about not to murder nobody, not to mess around with somebody else's woman, lying on another person, taking somebody else's stuff. That's basic. But the other stuff that keeps our body clean and mind free and stuff like that is certain type of garments we're supposed to put on. We're not supposed to put certain type of garments on. We're supposed to have a certain dietary law, which a lot of people eating pork and they say, well, just pray over it. That's what they gave to in the New Testament in the those, like you said, those books that was given to us by the Romans. They say Paul said we can just pray over it. That's not in the law, but that's what the world is doing. Certain type of, like I said, clothes we're supposed to put on. If they don't read it, they don't know it. A lot of other stuff. We ain't supposed to lay down with women when they're on their period. That talks about that in the law. A lot of people don't know that. See, that's what I'm saying. If we don't study the research and find out, how are we going to know if we don't research and find it out? So yeah, you're right on the 10. But there's other laws that the Creator talked to the prophets.
What I'm saying, listen to what you said, bro. There's so many. Wait, hold on. Let me get some water. Hold on.
It tells you how long to be before you sleep back with after your woman have a baby. It's supposed to be so long before you lay back down with them. It talks about that. It talks about a lot of different things.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of key points that you gotta realize. But again, these are different factions. There's factions that was separate on top of all these religions. There's different denominations because, like you said, they disagree on different tenets or different things. Like you said, they go by different. Like there's the Coptic church, then you got the Ethiopian Coptics. They have two different, similar, but there's differences. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the way.
So in that same situation, if the Creator said this and he gave this to the children of Israel and he told them to take this, and these other people, like you said, the Ethiopians and whoever, the Nazis, whoever else, they're doing something else. But the Creator said do this.
Christianity is ancient, is Hebraic, is mystical, is pure, is rooted in the Old Testament culture, you know, but it is blended with some New Testament revelation and is preserved outside of Roman or Byzantine control. So they are outside of the Roman control. So they are actually the best, you know, like they're like no other form of Christianity.
Who was outside the Roman control?
Ethiopia. They was preserved outside of the Roman and Byzantine control.
Mm-hmm. Their culture?
Yes, outside of it. You know how
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
The Romans had control over how everything was.
I know exactly what you mean.
They wasn't under their control ever.
Let me ask you a question.
They the only place that was not colonized either.
What? Let me ask you a question. Do they have to have a traveler's permit, or do they get a birth certificate, or either some type of ID?
That I gotta look into that. I gotta find that out.
I can tell you the truth to that now. They do, because they can't even get over here. They can't even. I know a colony of them in Atlanta. I'm telling you what I know. I used to go there
in the Bronx. I've been trying to get to it's a church here in the Bronx. I've been wanting to go to, but they start at 7 a.m. to like 11 a.m. to 12 or something like that, just so I could go see if I could get a copy of their Bible and just.
Now, let me share something with you. Mm-hmm. I can share with you, no matter what, the scripture says, and it's prophesied, that Greek and Rome is going to take over the whole earth. And in one way, fashion, or form, they've been colonized. Not colonized, I can say colonized, but they have been taken over, because if they got a birth certificate, if they got a social security card, if they got an ID card in order to travel, they're part of the Roman Empire. They're part of the Roman Empire, because you can't travel without Rome, which is anything in the 7 continents.
Nah, but they got their own. So Ethiopia, they had their own nations, their own kingdom. So it's like they have their own thing. It's not. It might look like it appear like it's something like, you know, like an ID or passport, but all it is up under they stuff. Like it ain't like under the system type Roman system type system. It's just a form of document that they use. I mean, everybody at this point in the world uses some sort of document, unless you
Right,
like
right.
live in tribal, some type of tribal forest tribe, something like that, with that, some tribe that ain't even been existed to the world yet. Now, them type of people definitely don't have no type of nothing, because they straight up have been untouched by man. And a lot of these National Geographics, when they come over there, they like killing them. They kill them. You know what I mean? There's a couple stories where I read, they go over there to try to report on them and study these people, and they end up dead. Like,
I heard about that on a couple people on a couple of islands.
yeah, yeah. And these are people that have never been what you call it, so-called domesticated and all of that. They still living.
They have their culture. What you said, they all have their culture.
Yeah, yeah. So they definitely ain't got no IDs, no none of that. So there's places they not gonna broadcast this much, but you, like you said, you go and do your studies and get into different things. You find out, what different things is not everybody's living like you or I, or
I know exactly what you mean.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what you're saying is they have their own culture. They haven't been colonized, just like some of the Muslims countries over there. When you bring Christianity over there, they kill them off. They're not letting them because everybody have their own culture, and I agree with that. I'm not going against that. But also when it talks about that, just like iron will break and bruise, all these different things, that's the same thing that the Roman did. They commingled with these different nations. Now they didn't do like they did when they came over here and took the land from the people here, but they come amongst these different nations and do the things that they do, even though these nations still stand the same. Look at Africa.
Yeah.
Africa is still supposed to be Africa, but they have been colonized and they still have been kind of commingling, even though they're trying to take their space back. A lot of them still commingle because they want to be a part of that dollar.
Mm-hmm.
But just being a part of the dollar, that's why I talk about church and state. They may still have their religion, but the state part is when they might be a part of the union of the state, but not a part of the religion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that the fact that they have to deal with money and certain other aspects, they're part of the Roman government, especially the heads. Now I'm not talking about the
And
small.
Ethiopia is the only place in the world where ancient Judaism and ancient Christianity existed side by side for centuries, bro. And they was on some, Israel stuff way before Christianity even existed there, bro. Like,
I can understand that,
yeah,
but if they change from the law, because I listened, and it might not be what you heard, but what I heard, I listened to the information on YouTube that gave talking about they talk about the flight, or how the Ethiopian Bible came together. They talked about everything, but it came to a point that this one guy, and I heard the name before, I think it's in the Bible, but I heard the name before, because my wife asked, said, "You heard his name before?" I said, "I think I heard that name." She said, "Yeah," but she told me that, yes, they spoke on him or whatever. But he was confused at a certain point, and then it was somebody that came and told him Jesus was supposed to do this and that, and they said he believed it, and he took it and ran with it and put it in part of the Ethiopian Bible. Now that right there, that was the link that connected the Christianity part, as far as I'm concerned, on that point of view. Now that's what I heard according to the story and what they said according to that. And because like I say, when I know the scripture for what I know it is or where I know it from, I understand that. And if the Ethiopia, if they did that, if they have a man die for your sin, or if they have, I'm saying not saying that's what they got because I don't know. But what I'm saying, if that's in there, that's where it got tainted at.
well, Ethiopia, they stay isolated from European theological decisions because they was not part of the Council of Carthage, nor the Council of Nicaea, nor any Catholic Protestant debates, and any of that type stuff like that.
They
And
don't have to be to
and
carry a story.
they also preserve Jewish Christian books, the early Christian writings. You know what I'm saying? They was considered sacred in ancient Israel. All of this, bro. Like, Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. I think that I don't know if that's where they went into when they left when they left Judah. I think it was the 70 AD, before 70 AD, or around that timing. When they left Judah, I think they went underground because they was being surrounded by the Romans, I believe, the Romans or the Greeks, and they went underground and they came up and they came out. I think it was Ethiopia or deep in the bush. I remember that. And like I said, I don't remember. I do know
Yeah,
that.
even Ethiopian Christianity survived Islamic expansion untouched. All of that, bro. Like for real, bro. Like it's Ethiopian monks that preserve books that disappear everywhere else. Like books that disappear everywhere else, the Ethiopian monks got them preserved, bro. So like, I mean, you could listen to whoever you want to, but I
No,
don't.
no, no. They was talking about the Ethiopian information.
Yeah,
They was talking about the Ethiopian
I mean,
information.
but yeah,
But
any talk about it, but that don't. I mean, I don't know who they are that they just could talk about it. Like
like
who?
I said, I don't know if the same thing that you call. I remember you were speaking on it once before. All I'm saying on what I did hear
But
them
one thing
speaking
I want to
on.
remind you, G, is what I'm trying. The whole point I'm saying about who it is that you got to remember, like, who is the person that's talking about them? Are they qualified to what type of scholarly person? Like, what are they
I
future?
can't say.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
So
know.
if you don't know that, then you can't really say if they trying to slant Ethiopia or if they really
Well, they was
have any
given the history.
study.
They was given the history
I
of it,
mean,
far as I
anybody
know.
quote a bunch of his so-called quote other stuff and say they did the history, bro. Like that don't mean that they was really or that you know what I'm saying that they
They
know.
was breaking down. All I can say, when they were breaking down the history, for what I knew, they got everything good up to a certain point. When they got to that certain point, that's where I heard the difference. So a lot of
Was
stuff
they
that they,
Ethiopian? Were they Ethiopian?
huh?
Were they even Ethiopian?
I don't know if they was Ethiopian or not. He was telling the story about the Ethiopians,
See, the reason
about the.
all into that is because my one of my great great grandfather who migrated from Ethiopia through to Detroit through Canada and married my this is my
So
father.
so you Ethiopian heritage then, aren't you?
Well, this is I'm trying to break it down. This is just through you have multiple lines in your tree, right? Like, but I
Yeah.
tell you, this is through my father's mother's uh mother and father. Yeah, so this would be my great great grandfather. He came to Detroit through Canada. He migrated through Canada from Ethiopia. He was a Jewish rabbi. You know what I'm saying? From Canada, he had his own watch shop in Beverly Hills and in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, he ended up marrying an Irish Jewish woman who was Irish. So he was, dark skinned Ethiopian African brother, married Irish Jewish woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they had my grandmother's mother. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and they migrated to Detroit, but she lived in Canada for a long time over there in Ontario. But
Okay.
my great great grandma, my great grandma, I mean, she lived in Ontario, but that's her mother and father. You know what I'm saying? That I'm talking about. But yeah, he came from Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I'll be trying to learn more, in tune with that part of
Well,
my
that's good. That means that you know a part of your heritage. That's good.
yeah, that's just one line though. That's just one because I still got my you know father's father, my mother's father, mother's mother, and they mothers and mothers and fathers, so the lines go, the more you go back, the more lines of that you have to study. Like, so you don't just have no one unless everybody,
That's the branch of the tree. You talking about the branch of the tree? You got tree got many branches.
yeah, it's many branches, like you said, man. So that's just one of the branches that I know, part of the branch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be good. So I remember you said you had an Ethiopian Bible, so that'd be good if you can really read through it and check it out. And check out because, like I say, I don't go. If you notice, I didn't say I knew all. I said that the guy spoke on here on this about that, and all I knew is to go by what I knew of. When he got to a certain point, I said, okay, bam. I see when you know something like right now. You told me about a part of your family. When you get into something and you know something, you know when a flaw comes in at. you know when something distorted or something been changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I know the scriptures from where I know it, read it, and understand it to the point where, okay, I hear the change here and there. So I know that something is wrong or something different at this point in time. So that is the reason why I asked, and that's the reason why I like to. I just want to get a good understanding because I want to know and get a better understanding compared to what I don't know.
But yeah,
So
Ethiopia had Judaism before Christianity, definitely, bro. Yeah, man. Historically, Judaism, it had entered Ethiopia through the ancient trade routes, through the Queen of Sheba story,
yeah, exactly. There you go.
through Jewish communities in East Africa, through Beta Israel, which is Ethiopian Jews. So yeah, man. Christianity, it arrived from Saint Philip around the first century A.D.
First century A.D.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the Romans picked it up and claimed it.
Well, from saying from like Coptic, from the coming from the Coptic side. Yeah, because they got the ancient, the Coptic was the
Mm-hmm.
first region where Christianity spread outside Judea. Yeah, so Egypt, that's where, it first spread outside of Judea.
And that's where they got Horus, Haru, and Isis from,
Basically, and that's how they say Jesus, Mary, and,
and Joseph.
all of that. So you already know, man, like a lot of these things are really just the same.
Allegory.
It's just the same stories, yeah, bro, like over and over. And they it's good. Like I said, the whole purpose is to really just get an understanding from it. You know what I mean? But it'd be nice to, like you said, to have it 100 stood as fact, 100%. Versus just saying, all right, I gotta look at it as allegory. But yeah, man, it's just the more you know, the more we study. You know what I mean?
Yup.
Study more because you learn some more things, you get some more questions. You learn some more things, you get more questions. You learn some more things, you find out, yo, I still got more questions. You know what I'm saying? So you keep building. You know what I mean? I think that's the wise way to really look at things is like, yo, I don't know it all. This isn't the all. It doesn't end here. It doesn't end here. Because if knowledge is infinite, it can't end or begin right here. Like,
No, it don't.
yeah,
But it gives you the basic information you know that you need in order to be in the position that you need to be in. When I went through my spiritual awakening, one thing that it speaks of that no man can deny. One thing that the scripture speaks of that no man can deny is about the anointing. And the reason I can say that because I went through it. So, and I know everybody haven't experienced it. So I understand what you mean by when you say certain things, certain people go through certain things, and I understand that. But I know what I went through when it came to my anointing, what I saw, what happened to me spiritually, what happened to me, the prophecies that happened with me, that came to pass, and things like so. These things that I know.
right. And that's why I say you can have righteousness whether you know this or not. Because you got people that know this stuff in and out, but they not righteous. So that knowing this
Right,
ain't gonna make
right.
you righteous either. Cause the devil know it and he ain't gonna do right by it. The devil knows the truth. That's how he tells the lie. So just because you know the truth doesn't make you righteous, bro.
You
Cause
got to do it. There you go. You
so
just
that's
said it.
why like, inward, like he was saying, is inward. It ain't about you knowing the truth. None of that. Because you can know it if you what good is knowing it if you ain't living it. You know?
There you go.
So
But but
no ain't
I'm
even
I'm, I'm with you 100% on that. But a lot of time people don't know it and they want to know, and that's what I was talking about from the beginning of the situation. When he said that, these people say they're Jews and are not, but then in that he didn't. He said it's not. I don't want to put words in the mouth because you played it.
bro. It was like maybe it's for those who know only, but like I caught it, bro. Like I didn't need no extra wordage. I understood exactly what he was meaning. You know what I mean? Even though he may not have worded it how you like you said, it could have been worded maybe better in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, I caught it right off the top,
That's
and
good.
it was
That's
like a
because
clip. This is like something I need to clip and
your
put.
intellect, your intellect was on point when he said that. But only thing that I was just sharing that on this point is this. When he said that to me, I just think that because you got a lot of people say, put it like this. Let me just hit me, bam. A lot of people say, believe in Jesus and be saved, right? Now, the world, which the Romans gave to everybody, all you got to do is believe in Jesus and you saved. You just got to believe in Jesus and you saved. That's all you got to do, believe in Jesus. Do that really sound like,
That don't even make sense, bro.
thank you? Not, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But this is what's been going
That's like
on.
believing in Santa Claus. Just be like, come on, like that don't make.
But now you understand what I'm saying.
Nah,
That's the
I
reason.
understand what you saying, bro. I'm just saying, like, I hope you understanding me when I'm saying, like, we don't need to know. It's good to know these things, but it's more better to live it. You know what I'm saying? Than to just know it. Like, and when you live in it, you don't even. It's like it comes, like how you.
Natural.
Like, yeah, because it's like sometimes, bro, I got to answer the things I don't know how I know it. And now, if you want to talk about prophecy again, I guess that could be a form of prophecy. Because there's times where there's things I know the answer to, and I don't understand how I know the answer, bro.
That's the spirit. Like you said, that's the inner light. But it's growing. You see what I'm saying?
It's like how the Wi-Fi is in the air with knowledge and data, and you can zap it if you could tune into it and you could pick it up like a radio wave or a frequency, like a thought wave or something. It's like I be tuned into it. I'm already in tune with things that I don't, I know them and don't even need to, like I said, like I don't want to make it sound like, you know what I'm saying, or something else, but like, yeah, man, like for real, it be like that. A lot of times it's just like things I know, and it's like, damn, how do I know this? And I don't recall doing like any particular, like picking up a book on this stuff, but I just know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? On a lot of things, I just would. It's been instances, a lot of instances.
Let me give you the answer to that.
Mhm.
Just hit me. Let me give you the answer to what you just said. Just hit me. In the book, Isaiah 59 and 50, hit me right here. Right here, 24. Isaiah 50, 65 and 24. It says, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. You see that?
Mm,
That's the universal consciousness going to give you your answer while you yet talking.
yeah.
It says,
Right.
and it shall
Nah, because
come
you
to,
know what?
huh?
I was trying to get to end. I was having a real deep night one night, and it was just like the whole. I was thinking so deep into the universe and just thinking about how much outer space expands for infinity, and it just made me feel so small and scared of like how did this all? How is all of this existing? Like how is all of this stuff here? Like you know what I mean? Because but and then so just even studying like how we get any information, like how do we even understand anything, like how do we get to understanding anything, bro? Like when you really look at all of this stuff, like what foods to eat, how to eat, like what to eat, even just how to make fire, how to make anything, how to turn these materials into different things, like how did people come up with all of this information? And like you said, bro, it's just like that. Like it just certain people, it came to certain people was here to bring out certain parts of the piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean?
That's
No,
universal consciousness for certain people that is meant for.
well, yeah, to bring to the world, like you said, because it wasn't just for they self personal, it's so that we could all, like you said, benefit from it. But like, everybody brings is like a piece in the machine. I don't hate to use the word the machine, but like, like we all a part of this universe. We play, we all an instrument in this universe. The universe is in harmony and we all play have our role and play our notes to keep it, yeah, man. So it's like you said, you here for your cause. This is where you here. One of your reasons why. And we all have a lot of us, we try to answer, what's our purpose? That's part of the question. What am I here for? Why am I here? What is this life? Why are we here? We try to answer these type of questions, man. But yeah,
But
bro.
if you ever get time, in Isaiah 65, starting verse 17 through 25, it talks about the new heaven and a new earth. A lot of people think it's going to be a new actual heaven and new earth. Like you said, it's within you. That's going to be the new heaven and the new earth. The new heaven is going to be in the mind. The new earth is going to be the way you walk.
Like
Main thing we've been
body.
talking about this whole
Body,
time.
yeah, bro. Mm-hmm.
Say again.
Nah, like you said, the earth is your body, like you said, because that's the soil you made of. Even when you poop, that's the soil. You soiled your pants. You soil. So you made of what you eat too, right? So it's like all of this stuff. You the soil. You are the earth. Your body represents the physical land, and the waters is in you. All of that, like the land, the water, all of the.
Just to add with what you just said, right after 24, I'm reading 24 and 25. This is the last two. 24, and I'm reading 25 for what you just said. It says, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Then it says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, which is coming. That's prophecy. Then it says, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat.
Mm.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith Yah. And dust shall the earth serpents meet. What did you just say? This right here is dust. We don't see it as dust, but this is what we made of, right?
Stardust, all of that. And it's stardust too. Everything, like you said, because we come from the stars as well, G. So it's like, yeah, man, that's how we got that light. That's why it's like we are stars. Like you hear Hollywood try to call people stars. Like we're stars. We're all stars. We're light. Like you said, we're points of light. We're beings of light. Light beings here, light bodies, all of that, man. Like we're everything. We're
We
all
we are of the universe. And I look at we all are like the earth walking around in this universe. Because our bodies is just like the regular earth. Our bodies are like 70 to 75% water. Blood
Mhm.
cells and brain cells made of 90% water. Each and every one of us is no different. We're just like the regular earth walking around. It's like we are different earths, stars walking around in the universe.
What they say? You was talking about the hermetic. What you said? The hermetic.
The
Did you?
Hammurabi Code.
Yeah, the hermetic laws in the Hammurabi. Yeah, the what the hermetic. That's one of the hermetic laws. I think is as above, so below. So that's like the macrocosm and the microcosm. You know what I mean? The macrocosm is like the big everything, the whole universe, but then the microcosm of the universe is like a cell, the atom. It's just like the mini solar system. You know what I mean? So everything is as it is above on
So
heaven.
it is below.
As,
Everything. If you look at quantum physics, that's what you're explaining.
yep, same thing, bro. It's really deep, bro. When you really start thinking about it like that, bro, it's kind of scary because it's like, damn, bro, like what is this like? We in the physical, then we gonna be in somewhere like next at
But this is that's a very deep level for people who have no understanding. That's why I try to keep stuff on the main on a level where people can get an understanding. Then I take them there, but I try to get everybody to understand things on a physical level.
yeah, you got to bring it down to earth, like you said, keep it on earth before you go to the heavens. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to focus on the heavens and all of that, but they can't make sense of what's going on right here in
There
real
you
time
go.
earth. You know what I'm saying? But like you
Yep.
start from here, from the foundation where we at, then you take it, then you take it to outer space. Once
And
y'all
that's what people think. And when they talk about we're gonna be living in heaven, it's not talking about the physical heaven. It's talking about the heavenly places right here in the mind.
exactly, because heaven is what you is like you said in the mental is how you live in. The halo. That's why you see that halo be over the.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you in heaven, they got that halo, that crown chakra, or if you in hell, you got them devilish horns. You know what I'm saying? It's all up in the mental. But yeah, like even Killer Priest, I like how he used to say on matter of fact, that song called Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. You ever heard that?
Yep.
About the Killer Priest? Yeah.
Basic instruction before leaving Earth. Yep, I heard
But
that.
he says in that song, the Earth is already in space. You know, that's deep how a lot of people be like, I remember when I first heard that, because it's like you think, yeah, we gonna go to outer space, but it's like, right, the Earth is already in space. We already in space. Like, what are you talking about going to outer space?
And,
Like,
and you know what? I actually even shared. Let me hit one thing for you real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm coming into it soon. But this right here is something I had shared in one of my um in one of my in one of the information Absalom murdered by okay, bam, it's coming up right here. I can't turn right to it.
yo, that's
Right
funny.
here. Dang, it's right here. Check it out. This is 2 Samuel chapter 17. We're gonna get there in about 2 more weeks, I believe. Yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks, because right now we get ready to start in 14. But this is chapter 18, 2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 9. It says this. This is how people don't realize space. This is the heavens right here. This is space right here. It says Absalom murdered by Joab. It says, and Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and a mule went under the thick boughs of an oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away. So when he got caught in the boughs of the oak tree, the mule went away, and he's sitting in the heavens. He between the heavens. He's sitting in heaven, and the earth is the ground. So people don't even walk. No, we walk around in heaven now, physically, but mentally, we're going to be in the real heavens because we don't have to worry about crime. We don't have to worry about them cops messing with us. It's going to be I'm already there, truthfully. I'm already in that position. But it's a lot of things that the scriptures speak of metaphorically that people don't understand. Everybody looking at the scriptures physically, and they don't see it spiritually or mentally, which is metaphorically. So on certain things, a lot of stuff is physical, or should I say, is real physical, but it's a lot of things spirit. That's why when I go through it on the Sabbath, and when I go through the scriptures, I show the difference between what happened at that time compared to what's going on today. I show the difference. But hey, like I said, I bring it to the people. It's up to them to accept it or reject it.
Well, the main thing is that you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you living it inward. That's the main thing first. Always, self is for that's the foundation of your universe is you. You know what I'm saying? So before everybody else get involved, you gotta make sure you involved. So that's the main thing. If everybody else don't get it, sometimes you not the voice. Sometimes somebody else might be the voice for for a different person. You
That's
know,
right.
sometimes you can say stuff and it don't get across, and then your wife say something, and then everybody understand. You know what I
Right
mean?
on point. And
Yeah,
I understand that.
yeah,
I totally understand it.
yeah,
But I try to give it to them as simple as possible where they can get it.
yeah. But it's called what's called like chemistry. Sometimes certain just things, people, even though they maybe don't listen, it's a tone of voice or how you say. We all like take a liking to certain music styles and certain, you know, presentation of books or way movies, certain styles of things. So it's like style. It could be that. It could be a lot of different reasons why. Or like you said, they just straight up being ignorant. You know what I mean? But
Sometime on purpose.
oh, for sure, man. Like, yeah, like you said, some people they just never gonna get it. They keep going back and forth, like we said earlier. No matter how many times they go to jail, they just gonna not catch on to like how long. You know what I mean? You gonna just be an old fool, like you know what I mean? not only are you a fool, but you're an old fool now. Like you just keep getting older and older and dumber instead of just, like they say, as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. But some people, they actually just become old fools, like, which is very sad. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you've been here long enough to know better, and you should know better. But like you said, they just, I don't know, they stuck on, like my mom would say shit like stuck on stupid. Like they just stuck on stupid. Like just stuck on being stupid. Because it's like, I can't understand how somebody would not get it. I mean, I get sometimes I've gone through the same situation a few times before I finally realized to stop doing this or stop getting into this scenario or whatever like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, some people, they just never really they never really learn. Like it's like crazy, man. Like especially when it's something deep like losing years of your life to go to jail. Like, come on, man. Like but it could be psychological too, like at a certain point with that. You know what I mean? Some people, I read something that says that it's like dealing with psychology and like self-sabotage. Some people, they're so used to the trauma of being in that position of going through the struggle and being down, that when now they finally have a chance to be better and do right, they kind of like self-sabotage themselves because they're not used to that change. They don't. I forgot how he broke it down, but like exactly from a psychological standpoint of just people who cling to that going back to jail shit versus it's like they self-sabotage their own self when everything was going well. They've been so used to just down being down and things going bad so much that they go revert and just cause their own. They like being in that suffering or some. It's crazy, bro. That's another thing. It's important to study is the psychology of shit too, bro. How we talked about history, but psychology is the reason behind the behavior. You know what I mean? The history will teach you the origins of stuff, but like when you get into the psychology of things, you understand why the behavior, why people say things, why they do things, or even when somebody's writing something, like even writings, you can see the psychology of behind certain shit to see if somebody has an alternative, like how we talked about with the victors usually rewrite the history. You know what I mean? So, like, if they have a psychological agenda behind rewriting the history, when you understand psychology, you'll be able to see, oh, this is definitely a lie. And the reason why is because this empire, and in conjunction with history, we realize that this is the empire that won. So they are, they wanted to pose as this, you know what I mean? Versus this is what was going on at the time, and these people existed, but they did away, wipe their whole history out. It's kind of like when you think about, how you was talking about a lot of people don't know their history here. You know what I mean? Because it's like how Martin Luther King said they was robbed of their history. They was wiped clean. It was straight up. They wiped their whole history. You know what I mean? Now, if you get into that, at one time people would think that slavery is their only history. You know what I mean? Until you had certain teachers come and teach that like Dr. Ben and everybody who go and teach you Africana studies, and there was kings and great kings in Ethiopia and Kush and all of these, different places and stuff like that. You start to learn that there's more to your story than just, but now you see the psychological reason why this man will keep presenting you roots and you know what I mean?
Let me share something with you real quick
Mm-hmm.
about that psychological and about people being taken away from their heritage, right?
Yeah, and then that goes in with history. See how they go hand in hand, like with
Exactly.
yeah.
Psalms 83, star 1. It says, keep not thou silent, O Yah. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Creator, God. For lo, thine enemies, we got to understand who the Creator's enemies is for number one. Thine enemies make a torment, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, his people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be in no more in remembrance. That was before we came back into who we were. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They're confederate against the Creator. Then it's going to tell you the people. The tabernacle of Edom, which is the Caucasians up to date, far as I'm concerned, are the ones in power, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, that's verse 6, verse 7, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot. Those are the Moors. They have kept the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and at the brook of Kidron, which perish in what mainly talk more about that. But mainly this is talking about us, them taking our heritage. This is talking about our heritage and what was told what was going to end up happening to us. That's in Psalms chapter 83, 1 through, what's that, 1 through 7, 1 through 8? Yeah, 1 through 7, 8, or 9. But 1 through 5, it talks about what happened with us. And this is written in the scriptures in the book that talks about what happened to us as a people and what they did. They planned on us at that time. And then in Joab, it talked about what they did as well. In Job 2, no, it was Job 3. In Joab 3, it talked about another portion of what happened to us as a people. Where we at, right? Nope, is it past Ezekiel? Here we go. That's Joel. It's Joab, not Joel. Or was it Joel? I'm saying Joab. It was Joel. Yep, it was Joel. Joel chapter 3, verse 3, 6, and 7, it says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and have sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. That's in Joel chapter 3, verse 3, and then verse 6 and 7 says, verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, what they have done all across the world, took all the created gold and silver, and these Caucasians have them everywhere. Verse 6, the children also of Judah, the Jews, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, the Greeks, that ye may remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of their place, whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. That's prophecy. That's going on today. They sold our people. This is what's going on today. And they sold them to the Grecians, which is the Greeks and the Romans. So all this stuff is prophecy about what has happened and what's going on in this day and time. I just want that. I mean, when you just speaking, that just came to my mind about it's a lot of things in the scriptures that the Creator spoke through his prophets to let things be known. But sometimes you have to go to those scriptures to find out what it is you need to know. But you'll never know. We'll never know. Or anybody never know if they don't read and find out.
The angle of it too that you got to study from is like how it talks about the enemy. Now, so when you a strategist, I was watching this one dude. He was like lecturing on like China and Russia and how they like just like at one time, like the little issues they was having or whatever like that, and he was breaking down how to like look at your enemy from a psychological standpoint. So it's good to study, the enemy side of the story
That's true.
from because it's psychological warfare too. You know what I mean? And so it's like that sometimes they also use psychological warfare, but like at the same time, you want to study your enemy and understand how he is thinking, why he's thinking this way, why is he my enemy, why is he doing these types of things to me? What is the psychology behind it? Because, again, everybody does something for a reason. They think something for a reason. They come to these conclusions all based on psychological. So it's like, yeah, man, like if you study the enemy inside of it too, that's a whole, because we focus a lot about the righteous side and just, doing the right thing and following the law of the creator and everything like that. But I think another thing that helps you,
It's
because
to know your enemy, right?
exactly, because it says it in G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle.
Right.
Know how to
Now, to answer that one on that point of view, the reason why the world it's only been two, it's really going to end up. Let me put it like that. The full spectrum of the whole situation is going to end up on 2 points, according to Scripture. Now, like you said, knowing your enemy. Genesis 27, verse 39 to 40 give you the understanding and the answers to what you said about the reason why we're going through this situation and our enemy. It says, and Isaac, verse 39, Genesis 27:39 says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, unto Esau, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. But this is the key. And by thy sword shalt thou live. This is by war. Sword is another word for war. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, which is the earth, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. He got the dominion, and that's why he's in power now. But this is where it said in Genesis 25, when the creator had already pronounced to Rebekah, the elder is going to serve the younger. But the elder got the earth first. That's why I said, and by thy sword should thou live. Everywhere you go, this is how I like to say Esau took over. He took over everywhere he went. We all know about he gave the people the book and took the land. He took the land and gave the people what they used to the natives used to say, when they have us close our eyes, and he gave us a book, and when they opened our eyes, he done took the land. That's what happened in time past. But this is how they did. They do it by war. If they can't negotiate and take it, they take it by war.
Right. What's the psychology? Why can't he share the land? You get what I'm saying? Why does he have to control and have it all to himself? Why is he selfish? Why,
Because that's his prophecy. That's his
what is the
that's his
psychology
nature.
deeper than just that to it is what I'm trying to say. It's like we got to study it down to a deeper level too also.
That's his nature. Think
I
about
mean,
it.
yeah, of course that's his nature, but again, even though it's his nature, there's a psychological, like even Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, she would talk about, like, why the Albion, like you said, why the Albion, why he liked to use weapons a lot. You know what I'm saying? These guns, these big guns. You know what I mean? Because deep down against the original man, he has penis envy and shit like that. Like because the guns kind of represent the size of a penis and things like it's deep like that, bro. Like on some,
But even though, why does they have the envy? I mean, why is it envious?
because he know that we more potent, powerful things of these natures. We the potency of the penis, like you said, it's the phallus. Even in that story of Set, how he chops off the penis of Osiris. You know what I'm saying? There's things of this nature. So
They
it's
chopped them up in many different pieces and
but
spread
that
them
was
out. But yeah, the penis as
but
well.
the phallus was the you know what I'm saying? That's like the obelisk. You know what I'm saying? And things of this nature. It's like it's deep, bro, symbolic, like
Yeah, but
wow.
let me ask you something though, bro. Let me ask you a question. Why would I be jealous of another man's penis if I'm not looking at it? I don't know what another man got between his legs.
Nah, but they did because of slavery. They do know what was between original men. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were studying them out and things. Not to be, you know what I mean? But she breaks this down in her book, the ISIS Papers. And ironically, it's called the ISIS Papers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because ISIS, she had to put back Osiris back together. She had sex with him real quick and had Heru, and
Yep.
you know what I mean? So
Yep.
like, yeah, like I said, this is all connected, bro. It's not even like accident that these things make sense and connect to each other. But like, yeah, man, it to somebody who is like you said, not paying no attention and just looking at it like in a not even having no understanding of anything, they gonna be like, what? What are you talking about? Penis and guns and white? Like, what is this? Like,
That's why we have obelisks all around the country.
well, those are like Jettis pillars. The obelisk was like a Jettis pillar, like a battery. Like the Jedi. You know how they call it the Jedi, the sword lightsaber. The
Yep.
all of these different things, multiple symbologies though. Like, yeah, the potent, the energy, light. You know what I'm saying? We remember I told you we guys because we bring children. We brought life to the planet. Woman can carry the egg, but we actually have the seed of life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're the ovum, they're the earth. That's why they are the earth because the earth, they carry the seeds. The earth carries all the seeds of life,
But
and
they carry the egg, we carry the seed.
what I mean carry it. They carry it in the soil. I'm saying how a woman carries your
Yeah.
seed.
It's like we plant the seed in the soil. They're the soil. We carry the seed that we plant in order for the fertilizer to grow.
Yeah, well, what I mean is like bear it. They bear it. They bear it in the soil. They bear it in their tummy and their, what I mean, in their womb. They carry like she said, I carry for 9 months. That's what I mean. But like you said, yeah, we hold the seed. We are the ones who actually possess the seed of life in us. We're the cream of life. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We have the cream that rises to the top. You know what I mean? It rises to the top of the woman, and you know what I'm saying? And that's how you create civilization. You know what I'm saying? That's how we the mothers and fathers of civilization. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, all of this stuff is very important. You know what I mean? And it's like the more you know, the more you're gonna grow, the more you're
Yeah.
gonna.
But to me, I think the most important thing to me, I think the most important thing is to study the Creator's laws, grow in His laws. By studying His laws, growing His laws, and knowing what the end outcome is, which is Israel, is going to be over the earth because Israel is who He made His promise with. And if He made His promise with Israel, first blood covenant, and then He made a spiritual covenant, which is everybody's waking up to today. When you get into that spiritual covenant, that's the bottom line of it all. So the spiritual covenant is understanding His word in order to be a part of that covenant. So by studying the spiritual covenant, which is His law, which becomes spiritually a part of you, that's the that's the mastery of it all. All the other stuff is really on the outside of what's going to keep a person on the outside of the kingdom. The kingdom is studying His laws and keeping His ways. The system has already programmed the world, like we said earlier. That sounds stupid. To believe on Jesus because He died for your sins and all this other stuff that me and you already know, no different, just like Horu.
Oh, you end up correlating everything that you read into the actual world that ain't in the book. So it's like we have to look at everything because the universe is everything. God is everything. So it's like you got to study it all. Like you got to look at everything because all of it helps you put it together. The pieces of.
That's what I'm saying. Just like we understand about Horus, Haru, and Isis.
Mm-hmm. But
Right. So that's exactly what I'm saying. You have to study everything, but once you come to the conclusion to understand
you gotta do is do right, not go left. That's it. Going left means you strayed away. All you do
that,
is
and that's all I'm saying when it comes to the law.
it's real
You
simple.
yourself even said we know not to murder
We get
nobody.
away from it. We end
We
up
know not
away from
to
it. You know how we end up
lay
getting
down with somebody else's wife. We know not
away
to.
from it because we start seeing other people get, oh, they did it. That got away with it. Because
And there you
like
go.
you said, you start doing the right thing, but then the more you start to be around peers or
And
people,
that's what I'm talking about, bro. And
you
that's when
start,
you start, like you said, if you start studying everything else, but you was already on track. We already know it's in you not to murder nobody, not to mess around nobody's
that's why
wife. That's
I said,
already in you.
as long
So
as you
then it's other
righteous,
stuff there
you can
too
be
that we don't
around.
know about.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I'm around all of this stuff, but I'm not going doing it. So that's what I'm saying is once you get that found solid in your foundation, once that becomes solid and you sound in that jewel right there, you will go the farthest because like you said, no one can take you off your square because you so in your on that degree of like, yo, I don't gotta do as the world. Like they say, be in the world but not of it.
Of the world, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
But
you
how,
be
how would a person
hanging
to
around
know if they're
people
not of
that's
the
doing
world?
all kind of
How would
things
they know they're not of the world if they're in it? But how would they know they're not of the world? And how would they
because
find and understand
you're
that?
not things that people are doing. You just live. Yeah, you living in the world. You going to work. You might be hanging around with people that do drink and things that they do. But when you make all your moves, because like how we just said, everything is inwardly on you. Everything is reflexive on you. You're responsible and for yourself only. You're only responsible for you, not for what everybody else is doing.
I agree.
So once
I
you start
agree.
that and you solid in that, then yeah, you could be around everyone and know that yeah, I'm not gonna be in trouble for what these people did. And like you said, as long as you at least doing your part to try to help people. I mean, you can't go around being on the soapbox preaching to people, but like, yeah, you just, you in your little ways, just by you being you, doing your daily living lifestyle, your people gonna see you. They might ask you questions. You allow yourself to give them answers. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Other than
So
that, you don't
so
gotta.
what I would do, I would say, but to me, I would leave it with this. I'd be like, this right here would give me the conclusion. Besides Ecclesiastes, the few verses in Ecclesiastes, the last chapter, but when I hear in Malachi 4, Malachi 3, verse 16 through 18, it states, then they that fear Yah, or feared the creator, or feared the universe, how you want to say it, spake often one to another. And the creator, Yah, hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the creator, the Almighty, and that thought upon his name, which I always say is the law. And they shall be mine, saith the creator of hosts. In that day, when I make up my jewel, these are the people that he's going to be pulling together as his jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, and between them or him that serveth the creator and him that serveth him not. And to me, that
Exactly.
whole situation is according to the law.
Nah, you know exactly who to waste your time on. Like, you know who not to like even bother with trying to tell them something, not to do the wrong thing because they already just gonna be stuck on doing it. But then it's people that may not, like you said, they just need a example for you to show them the way, and then so they more receptive. But then
Right.
some people just don't even waste your time saying nothing to them because they stuck on
Oh,
stupid.
definitely. Definitely.
So that's what that was talking about. That's talking about the people who you already know they which side they done chose. So it's like, why even waste your time trying to, it's like when somebody that made their choice, that's, you understand that. But then when it's somebody who you could kind of tell is just trying to figure things out, those are the people you try to,
Try to reach.
put the breadcrumbs out for them so that they can try to, start to figure out where they going.
Yeah, definitely. We about an hour and 32 minutes in. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, I said it pretty much all, bro. It's the same stuff over and over and over.
Yeah, but it was a good conversation we had tonight. Just to get better clarity of just understanding of thoughts of information. You know what I'm saying? Better clarity on thoughts of information that we know just coming up with, seeing what we just seeing what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, I
But
think
look like my boy Kedia Richardson was in on Facebook for a quick minute.
oh, bro, just like as long as you stay on positivity, it's simple. You feel good, right? When things is doing, you don't feel good when you like say you're like a person that's just not doing the right thing, and you know how it feels when you ain't been doing the right thing. Maybe you had homework to do, you didn't do it. You know, you don't feel good about doing your homework, not doing it. But when you did your homework and you studied and you get good on your tests and all of that, you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? When you eating right and take care of yourself, and you see your body look nice, and you can look at yourself, it's feel good about the way
Yep.
look at a crack.
That's the spirit within at that time. It actually vibrating from inside out.
Exactly. Then you see a crackhead, look at them. They look terrible. They probably feel terrible on the inside by the way
Because
they.
they're breaking their bodies down. Dang, I'm shutting down on Facebook. Facebook shutting down.
Uh,
Yeah. And let me go ahead and pull out because my other about to shut down in a minute. But it was good conversation we had tonight.
nah, man. You know that's how they come every someone up. You know, just go with the flow, bro.
There you go. But other than that, I'd like to share that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And other than that, me and G1 had a nice conversation tonight, just sharing information on different conversations of different things. But this is open conversation every Sunday, the night after Sunday, should I say, at 9 p.m., starting at 9 p.m. until this is the end of part 2 of open conversation tonight. And if anybody like to get in contact with me, first, before I do that, let me go ahead out. I almost forgot yesterday. I'm gonna go out correctly tonight. Yesterday I almost went out, and I had to catch myself at the last moment. I got to do the benediction and give the smile before we pull out. And thank you, Father. We'll pull right to it. So we get ready to end with the benediction, and then we're gonna do the smile, and then we get ready to give the information for how to get back in contact if anybody is interested. So right now, this is the priestly benediction, and this is in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name upon the children of Israel, which is his law, and Yah will bless them. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekebo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the word, for your guidance and your spirit that you share with us as you are with us. Rest you keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others. And we thank you for all you've done, been doing, and planning, doing your holy word, spirit, and all things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 All right. Now, if anybody like to get back in contact with me, you can always call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. You can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. All right. And now also just want to share with you, if you like to check out part 1 and part 2 of the different programs that we have on YouTube or YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, that's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. On YouTube, you can catch us on YouTube Live. That's YouTube Live at Juice Pro 33. That's JUICE PRO 33. That's JUICE PRO 33 on YouTube Live. You can see excuse me, now I'm setting up starting the yard again, excuse me. You can see us part 1 and part 2 of the different information that we're sharing. Also, on Instagram, you can see part 1 and part 2 on Instagram as well. And you can check us out on Instagram at L'chaim_the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. All right. And also you can catch us on Facebook. Excuse me. On Facebook at MI_CHAEL space LKHYYM. I'm sorry. MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. That's Facebook. Facebook. MI_CHAEL space HARRIS on Facebook. Now, those are for part 1 and part 2 on those 3 channels. But if you want to see the full version, which is loaded from Zoom, you can catch us on YouTube at the same thing we shared earlier, which is Juice Pro 33. Please like, subscribe, and share to Juice Pro 33, which is JUICE PRO 33. Again, JUICE PRO 33. And you can also catch us, like, subscribe, and share on YouTube there, please. And you can also catch us on Twitter, or shall I say X, formerly known as Twitter, which is still under Juice Pro 33, which is JUICE PRO 33. Again, JUICE PRO 33. You can also catch us on rumble.com. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. And also Patreon. Excuse me. Patreon.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Now, you can also catch us on TikTok. Now, TikTok is the same as one of them anyway. It's the same as Instagram, which is you put in the search engine on TikTok at L'chaim_the juice, which is LKHYYM_THEJUICE. Again, that's at in the search engine LKHYYM_THEJUICE. My second TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled, put the @ and CHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's at sign in a search engine and MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Now, that's for all the platforms. Now, if you'd like to connect with me on Zoom, we're on 4 nights a week on the Zoom. And tonight being the first night, being in the first in the second night of the week, which is the night after Sunday, which is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. And we're here every night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're here on the night after Monday. I say night after because after the day is gone, it's the night, you're in the night at 9 p.m. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time on night after Monday. Night after Monday is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, night after Monday. There you can always get on. Where you can get on any of the platforms, but you can get on Zoom if you connect with me as well. Now, that's night after Monday at 9 p.m. for Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Now, night after Tuesday, which is Introductory to Solving Class of Knowledge. We're here on Zoom only because it's private. If anybody want to get in contact or want to come and get on, you're welcome to come. If you text me, I already gave you my information. If you text me your name, number, and email, I will place your name, or shall I say your email, in my Google Calendar. It's going to come up in your your email, and then I will place you in all of my groups, and all you have to do is accept them. Once you accept them, all the information will be in your calendars. All you have to do is accept them, and you'll be in your calendar. Then if you like to come on any one of the Zooms, you'll have them in your calendar, and you can go there, you will get a notification. You can go to your calendar, or you can be able to get them from your email. Come in just by clicking the link. All right. And that's on Tuesdays. You can do it for each one, but Tuesday Zoom only. And that is called that night is called Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge. That's Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge, if you're interested. And that's at 6 p.m. On Tuesday. Is night now because we late in the season. So it's night now, usually be in the spring. What spring on up is in the evening, but it's now at night. So at 6 p.m. And last but not least, we have on the Sabbath, which is what they call Saturday. On the Sabbath, we have Assembly of the Righteous. That's at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. All of them Eastern time, 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. Assembly of the Righteous. All right. So just have those. We have those. And if you're interested, you're welcome to come in. Text me your name, number, and email, which I did leave that at the beginning. And if you text me your name, number, and email, I will put you in. You can connect and go from there. Other than that, I thank everyone for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Thank G1 for the conversation tonight, open conversation. And anybody, hope you can get whatever you get out of the information. I hope it's pertinent and important for you from what you heard. Other than that, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. So G1, I'm gonna see you hopefully tomorrow night, if so. But I'm gonna take you off first. So I'll go ahead and get off of Instagram and YouTube Live, and we'll talk tomorrow, bro. Hopefully. All right. Peace and love, my brother. Peace. Yeah, I heard you say peace.